You got
Embark on a journey into a compilation filled with spine-tingling thrills, showcasing paranormal encounters, Bigfoot and mysterious creature sightings, and daring animal encounters. Brace yourself as each entry unfolds, sending shivers down the spine and delivering chilling scares that are sure to captivate and unsettle anyone daring to watch these videos. Prepare for an immersive exploration to the realm of suspense and fear, where each segment promises a haunting experience that lingers long after the screen fades to black. Bigfoot in a snowstorm. According to a video shared on Long Island Bigfoot's channel, there is purported footage of a Bigfoot navigating through a snowstorm in the woods near a trail. The visibility in the recording is limited, making it challenging for some viewers, including myself, to discern the alleged creature. While many commenters express amazement, awe, and excitement about the footage, my personal struggle to identify anything concrete persists. In my observation, I can vaguely perceive movement in the middle of the screen amid the snow and trees. But I remain skeptical, acknowledging that it could be anything. Not possessing an expert's trained eye, I advise taking my opinion with a grain of salt. Despite repeatedly watching the video, I find it challenging to reach a definitive conclusion. Adding to the intrigue, the video's uploader mentions having inspected the area afterward, discovering deliberately fallen trees obstructing the trailhead. The circumstances, particularly the adverse weather conditions, raise doubts about the likelihood of someone intentionally blocking the trail in such inclement weather. Mysterious creature. In a deep, dark forest, something strange happened. A special camera took a picture of a mysterious creature. The only thing we could see were its glowing eyes, like magical lights in the night. The person who owned the camera was really curious, so they made their phone screen very bright to see more. What they saw was a strange creature that looked a bit like a human, but it was hard to see its face. It was so eerie and scary, like it didn't belong to our world. This sight filled the camera owner with fear, making them too scared to go back to that forest again. People who heard the story were also scared. They talked about the creature, but no one could figure out what it really was. It was like a mystery that no one could solve, something strange and unknown. This strange being left a mysterious mark on the world, and its secrets would forever stay hidden in the deep, dark forest. Eerie creature's chilling encounter. In daytime, a strange video appeared. It showed something scary. A person who liked to jog in a quiet park saw something bizarre. He didn't know that something evil was nearby. While jogging, he saw a weird dark shape in the distance. It was black and didn't make sense. He thought it might be a big black bear or a wild dog, but it wasn't. This thing was pure evil. It had creepy eyes that felt like they could steal your soul. Looking at it sent chills down the jogger's spine. It was like a nightmare come to life. Its twisted, scary face seemed like it came from another world. Everyone who saw it was terrified. The jogger couldn't move, stuck in the monster's evil gaze. He realized he was in a place that didn't belong to our world. This thing was a mystery, something we can't understand. The video stopped, but the terror it showed never left. The mystery of this evil creature with its scary eyes and eerie presence stayed unsolved. It's a reminder of how unknown and frightening our world can be. Gorilla versus snake. In the jungle, there's a zoo with a funny and fascinating story. Some gorillas and a snake became the stars of a video that's been making people laugh and wonder.
Oh, there's a snake. Oh, that's awesome.
One clever gorilla first noticed the snake hiding in the bushes. He got so excited and yelled for his gorilla friends to come check it out.
Oh, Big Dad.
In no time, there were 5 or 6 gorillas, all looking surprised and amazed. But the best part was the funny dare. One cheeky gorilla challenged his buddy, saying, "If you give the snake a kiss, I'll give you 50 bananas." This was so silly that all the gorillas started giggling.
I could do something about it. Why are you doing it?
The brave gorilla decided to go for it and gave the snake a quick kiss. Everyone burst into laughter and cheered for him. The snake just watched, probably wondering what all the fuss was about. People at the zoo watched through a glass wall and couldn't believe their eyes.
Oh, there's a snake. Oh, that's awesome.
They had expressions of surprise and happiness, just like the gorillas. The video of this crazy moment spread everywhere, making people of all ages smile and be amazed. This funny encounter showed that nature is full of surprises. The gorillas were curious and playful, and the snake showed it had a good sense of humor. Even in a zoo, we can find moments that make us laugh and feel wonder. This video reminded us that our world is full of exciting and incredible things, even when we least expect them. Mysterious egret. In the bright daytime, something very strange happened in the peaceful park. There was a beautiful egret, like a snowy angel, standing all alone. But this egret was different, and that's what made this scene so weird. It had a hole in its neck, like a hollow tunnel, and this didn't make any sense at all. As the egret moved gracefully, the hole in its neck was like a secret passage to a mysterious world where nature's rules had gone all wrong. At first, it looked like the egret was trying to catch and eat a snake. Its long neck was elegantly curved as it focused on the snake. But here's where it got really eerie.
So you just pulled that out of its neck.
Every time the egret tried to swallow the snake didn't stay inside. It kept coming out of the hole in the egret's neck. It was like a creepy dance, as if nature itself was playing a spooky game.
What's happening?
The egret, which should have been a symbol of innocence and beauty, now looked haunting. Its eyes revealed the pain it was going through. Nobody knew what had caused this strange hole in its neck, and no one could understand how much the egret was suffering. People in the park watched in amazement, their voices hushed.
So you just pulled that out of its neck. What's happening?
It was as if they stumbled upon a secret they couldn't explain. The truth behind this mysterious egret remained hidden, a puzzle that no one could solve. The egret became a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that there are mysteries in nature that go beyond our understanding. Its story would be told and retold in the park, a legend of the unexplainable. Mysterious fox and cat. In the daytime, something strange happened, and a camera was there to capture it. There was a cat all black and sleek, and a fox bright red like a flame. They were in a garden, and it seemed like they were in a mysterious showdown. At first, the cat was scared of the fox. The cat moved away slowly, stepping back. But the fox was very determined, like it had its own secret plan. The garden seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something to happen. And then, out of nowhere, the black cat made a run for it. It was like a ghost in the night, running so fast, leaving everyone puzzled. The fox, like a fiery shadow, chased after the cat, but it couldn't catch up. There was another fox, like a twin, making things even more puzzling. This mysterious event left everyone baffled. It was like a puzzle with missing pieces, and people couldn't stop thinking about it. Nature can be so full of secrets and surprises, just like this strange encounter in the garden. It was a reminder that there's always something mysterious waiting to be uncovered, even in the light of day. Agro-wildlife. In a spooky dark water pond, our camera records something incredibly scary. Agro, a creature that embodies fear, swims through the gloomy water with a haunting elegance. The water seems to hide terrifying secrets, making it feel like a nightmare. Every ripple and shadow makes it seem like something really bad is about to happen, and our camera captures it all. This encounter with Agro's creepy world blurs the line between what's real and what's a nightmare, leaving us feeling really scared. It's like we're in the deep, dark world of agro-wildlife. Forest Deer Showdown. In this captivating video, we witness a thrilling battle between two magnificent forest creatures, a white-tailed deer and a mule deer. The wilderness brims with tension as they engage in a fierce clash, revealing the harsh realities of their lives. Guided by a knowledgeable narrator, we explore the forest beauty and the relentless struggle for dominance among its inhabitants, immersing ourselves in a wild world where nature takes center stage. The graceful white-tailed deer cautiously approaches the mule deer, both boasting impressive antlers, poised for an intense confrontation. The echoing clash of their horns reverberates through the woods, underscoring their unwavering resolve. This extraordinary video transcends mere survival. It's a poetic tribute to the untamed, reminding us of the stunning world beyond our urban confines, where every day is a challenge, and each moment showcases the indomitable spirit of nature. Terrifying forest nightmare. Deep within a scary and spooky forest, trail camera recorded something truly terrifying on a dark night without the moon. It was a very scary moment when something we couldn't describe hid among the twisted trees, covered in darkness, getting ready to reveal its evil secrets. The air became heavy with a strange silence as the camera zoomed in on this creepy figure. Shadows moved in weird ways, and you could feel the tension like a slowly unfolding nightmare. The creature, which was a bizarre mystery, stayed hidden, but we can tell it meant harm. Out of nowhere, it moved incredibly fast from behind the gnarled branches. Its movements were unnatural and horrifying. Even the forest itself seemed scared as it showed its horrifying shape. It had sharp claws, eyes that gleamed with a terrifying hunger, and a growl that sent chills down our spines. We were struck in fear, unable to understand what this unholy thing was. It was like a real-life nightmare, a creature from a dark place that we couldn't explain. As the camera kept recording this terrifying scene, we were left with a deep sense of horror that would stay with us, forever haunted by the forest's sinister secrets. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Skinwalkers? Late one eerie night, a guy caught wind of spooky sounds echoing from the shadowy woods nearby. Spooked but curious, he rigged up a trail camera hoping to unveil the source. Lo and behold, the footage showed bizarre creatures with peculiar limbs roaming about. Locals whispered about them being skinwalkers, but the real deal stayed shrouded in mystery. The town buzzed with theories, yet no one cracked the enigma. Those creepy critters continue to baffle, leaving folks to wonder if the answer hid within the depths of those dark, lurking woods. Apparition? A cameraman innocently filming in a quiet church, all's calm until he spots a girl sitting on a bench. Innocent enough, right? Well, brace yourself for the twist. When she turns around, it's like a horror movie switch flipped. Her face, no words, horrible, shiny, and those big eyes, they'd give anyone the chills. Cue the guy's scream, echoing through the church as if it just witnessed a ghostly revelation. Panic mode engaged. The poor cameraman darts away, fueled by sheer terror. It's a scene straight out of a nightmare, leaving us all to wonder what in the world just happened in that seemingly peaceful place of worship.
Hello?
Mysterious night encounter. Late at night on a quiet road next to a dark forest, something strange happened. A spooky event played out in a video, like a scary story just at the edge of what we understand. A person hidden in the shadows tried to take a skinwalker's baby, a creature from old stories, mysterious and eerie. The dim light of the moon barely lit up the secret scene, surrounded by twisted tree branches. The air felt strange, like something not from our world was happening. The person struggled with a tiny, weird shape in his arms, while the skinwalker, a creepy figure, stood there with a twisted, almost unnatural face. As this mysterious scene unfolded, another skinwalker appeared from the dark forest, holding something scary. The whole place felt charged with something spooky, making you shiver. It was like a puzzle of strange things, a dance between what we know and what's beyond our understanding. At a crucial moment, the new arrival, maybe seeking revenge or protection, walked purposely. The thing in its hands looked dangerous, suggesting something really bad could happen. The video paused right there, keeping the big revelation a secret. The weird story continued in these quiet frames, leaving us hanging in a tangle of questions. The mystery stayed, and the strange things unseen in the dark of the night lingered in our thoughts. Mysterious itching dog. Here's the camera footage which showed that in the quiet parts of the day, something strange happened in a forgotten place. A secret story unfolded through a camera's eye, quietly watching the mystery that held the ordinary streets. The video whispered like a ghost, showing a curious scene. A single dog covered in a coat of secrets lay on the hard road. The sunlight touched its sad shape, but shadows stuck to it, moving to a hidden tune. This dog, the main character in our puzzling tale, gave in to an unending itch. It was like ghosts from a magical world cast a spell on its fur. Each scratch carved a puzzle on its skin, a puzzle that nobody passing by could understand. While this furry mystery played out, people walked on, not noticing the silent pleas woven into the dog's actions. Passerby, like shadows themselves, went on without looking, their thoughts far from the puzzle at their feet. The dog, a secret in plain sight, stayed there, an unanswered question in the noisy everyday life. What happened to this street dog? The air didn't tell, and the dog didn't say. It stayed in a mysterious pose, a furry story untold. The street, a stage for normal things, now held this dog mystery without a director or anyone to figure out its story. And so, the video lingered, a quiet reminder in the big collection of hidden things. A dog, an itch, a mystery mixed into the usual day, a puzzle that stayed, waiting to be solved.
Fight of two giant bears. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a wild and untamed jungle, two massive, black, furry grizzly bears set up themselves locked in a ferocious and roaring showdown. The sun was shining brightly above, casting dappled shafts through the thick cover of trees onto the jungle bottom. Both bears, snorting and growling, were locked in a battle of strength and will. They stood on their hind legs, their claws glinting in the sun as they swiped and roared at each other. The earth vibrated beneath their strong paws. Each bear was determined to prove their dominance over this lush and mysterious home. Leaves rustled, and branches shook as they collided, transferring echoes of their ferocious fight through the jungle. The birds in the trees took to the sky, their bodies beating in an unmelodious delirium. Other creatures galloped down, fleeing the explosive spectacle of these giants colliding. As the day wore on, the battle raged, a true test of muscle and flexibility. The jungle bore evidence to this grand struggle, and only time would tell which bear would crop as the sovereign of this untamed area. Baby sloth reunited with its mother. Video showed that in a special forest, during the daytime, something magical happened. Someone appeared, holding a tiny baby sloth in his hand like a secret. The leaves whispered as this caretaker moved through the shady forest, a guardian of a hidden story. Among the old trees, the mom sloth who ruled the treetops stood quietly. Her wise eyes saw the reunion coming, just like the wind had whispered. The secret exchange began, passing the little life from one hug to another. Hidden observers in the leaves saw a beautiful scene, filled with curiosity and admiration. The mom sloth had been waiting patiently for her baby to come back. This special reunion became a part of the forest's memory. Leaving everyone who saw it captivated by the mysterious dance of life under the green trees. In that quick moment, the forest shared its secrets, inviting anyone curious enough to look in and see the peaceful dance of life. The memory of this meeting stayed like a quiet story, passed along from leaf to leaf, making sure the special dance between mom and baby sloth stayed alive in the wild. Night forest, ghostly cries. In the dark forest at night, something scary happened. A person in a car recorded it with their camera. The video felt strange, like it had a spooky power. From the hidden parts of the forest, a weird cry echoed. It sounded like a sad woman, but you couldn't see her. The video made it all mysterious. As the video played, it made the air feel heavy and scary. The woman's cries mixed with the forest sounds, making it hard to tell what was real. It felt like the living and the ghostly were all mixed up. The car in the middle of the wild saw everything. The people inside felt both interested and scared. The normal world seemed to break as the cries echoed, making a strange scene. No face came with the sad cries, so you didn't know if it was a real woman or a ghost. The answer stayed a mystery, making everyone who saw it feel unsure. From the deep part of the dark forest, the scary sounds marked the minds of those who watched. It sent shivers down their spines, showing how creepy things can hide in the night.
Mysterious creature of San Antonio. In the northern part of San Antonio, something mysterious happened. It was like a hidden puzzle that confused the people living there. It all started with a strange picture that made everyone wonder. This picture wasn't clear at all. It looked like a strange image taken when the light was fading away. People couldn't agree on what it showed. Some said it was just a regular dog, while others thought it resembled a coyote, a creature known for being secretive and active in the twilight. But there was a problem. The picture didn't give any clear answers. It was like the creature in it didn't want to be seen properly, as if it existed between our world and another. This left everyone scratching their heads in confusion. People turned to experts at the San Antonio Zoo, hoping they could shed some light on the mystery. Sadly, even these experts were stumped. They couldn't find any creature that matched what they saw in the photo. It was as if this animal was entirely new, like a riddle that nature itself had created. In the puzzling picture, this mysterious creature was seen walking in a dimly lit park. But no one could say for sure what it was. It was a mystery that invited curiosity and left us wanting to uncover the secrets hidden in our world. As the night covered the north side of San Antonio, the mystery deepened. The photo, a strange piece of evidence, whispered tales of the unknown, leaving us all in the dark, forever wrapped in its enigmatic cloak. Rare bird sighting. In a faraway place, a camera captured a sight that sent shivers through the spines of all who gazed upon it. A bird, a mysterious entity perched upon a precipice, bathed in the brilliance of a sunny day. Its form was akin to that of an owl, yet it was not so. Whispers echoed that this enigmatic creature could be none other than the fabled photo, the rarest of all avian beings. The cryptic footage held a hypnotic power, drawing in all who beheld it. This bird, unlike any other, yawned in a manner known only to itself, adding an unsettling aura to the spectacle. It was a moment where the line between reality and the unknown blurred into obscurity, leaving those who watched it both bewildered and enthralled. In that fleeting moment, the world glimpsed the eerie, the extraordinary, and the inexplicable, all wrapped in the form of this ghostly bird. Spooky figure. In the dark night, a chilling sight was captured by the camera. A spooky alien. It looked smoky, drifting through the air, its shape all twisted. It puzzled and terrified everyone who saw it. Then it shifted, moving the other way. No one knew why it was a total mystery, cryptic and strange. Where did it come from? What was its purpose? These questions hung heavy in the air. The alien's presence was eerie, sending shivers down spines. It was like something from a nightmare, an enigma that left hearts racing. In just a few moments, the world had witnessed something otherworldly, something beyond comprehension. And as it vanished into the night, the fear it left behind lingered, haunting the minds of those who had seen the inexplicable, the unexplainable, the alien in the dark. Eerie bipedal creature. On a really dark night, the watchman walked around the old falling apart school. His flashlight flickered and made spooky shadows on the broken buildings. The school had been empty for a long time, and it felt very sad and lonely there. The only comfort was the faraway sounds of the city, reminding him of life outside the rusty fence. Suddenly, he heard creepy, soft voices. They came from all directions, like whispers in the wind. His heart raced, and he stopped for a moment to figure out where the voices were coming from. He felt scared, but also curious, so he decided to follow those ghostly sounds into the dark. Carefully, he went deeper into the night, and the voices got louder and scarier with every step. And then, he saw something he would never forget. A weird creature with 2 legs like a person, but it was all twisted and looked really strange. His shaky flashlight barely showed it. The creature walked in an odd way that sent chills down the watchman's spine. The creature made creepy, unnatural sounds that filled the night with terror. It was like fear itself had taken shape. The watchman's heart raced, and he struggled to breathe as he watched this nightmare come to life. People had always talked about the school being haunted, a place where something awful happened to a mother and her child years ago. The watchman, too shocked to understand what the creature wanted, quickly grabbed his phone and started recording. In the dim light, the video captured the terrifying figure, a reminder that there are things we can't explain and that hide in the dark. Nobody could figure out where the scary creature came from or why it was there. The watchman's video left everyone in shock, a mystery that would always be a part of the eerie history of the old school and the brave watchman who faced it. Cryptid Spirit. In the depths of a shadowy forest, a trail camera captured a video that sent shivers down spines and left everyone confused. In the dead of the night, the camera's lens unveiled a spine-chilling sight, a mysterious figure, draped in a ghostly white shroud with long, untamed hair flowing eerily in the wind. This spectral entity and otherworldly presence appeared to be a ghostly woman or a supernatural spirit, haunting the heart of the forest. The unsettling part was the inexplicable reason for her presence. Why did this ghostly apparition wander alone through the inky blackness of the woods, under the watchful gaze of the moon? The enigma of her purpose, her ethereal form drifting amidst the trees, cast an eerie pallor over the entire forest. The video, with its eerie and disturbing aura, left everyone with an unsettling feeling that lingers in the mind, like an unsolved riddle of the night. Mysterious creatures. Deep in the dense, unforgiving forest, a mysterious scene unfolded in front of a camera, making anyone who dared to watch it feel their blood run cold. The footage showed a horrifying picture, a strange creature covered in tangled hair with a skull-like head that had no flesh. It wasn't an animal or a person, but a monstrous, infant-like presence that moved in a disturbing way. But terror wasn't alone in this scary place. Another creature emerged from the shadows, a huge nightmare with twisted horns and a face hidden under layers of bones. It charged forward with a wicked plan, ready to attack. The fear in this unearthly footage was real and intense. This eerie and chilling natural event, a mystery on its own, left everyone who saw it trembling with fear. Were they enjoying some evil pleasure or just taking part in a creepy dance of horror? The answer, hidden in darkness, remained unknown. Unwanted sighting. In a spooky moonlit forest, something unexpected and creepy happened in front of a camera, revealing a strange secret of nature. In the dark, many tree trunks were mysteriously wrapped by a weird, thick white rope. When you look closely, this strange rope seemed to move and twist, giving you a scary feeling. When the camera zoomed in, the weird truth became clear. A giant snake, its long body coiled around many trees like a nightmarish guardian of the forest. Its head was a horrifying mix, not like a horse or a human, but a creepy skeleton face. Its bony face, though it had some horse-like features, didn't make sense in the real world. This mysterious video, a strange proof of things we don't understand, made people who watched it shiver and left them thinking about the weird mysteries hidden in the forest. Massive alligator attack. In the dim, eerie light of the swamp, the camera rolled, revealing a spine-chilling scene. In the heart of the murky pond, a solitary man stood, immersed in the shadowy waters, relentlessly splashing a stick. His face remained concealed within the foreboding darkness, a harbinger of imminent danger. With each splash, ripples coursed through the water's surface, their eerie dance summoning an unfathomable horror from the depths below. It was on the third emphatic splash that the earth seemed to shudder, and from the abyss emerged a colossal alligator, ancient and formidable, its sinister eyes gleaming with ravenous hunger, as though convinced a delectable morsel had fallen into its trap.
Just a minute or two.
The wild beast's scaly, grotesque form breached the water's surface, jaws agape, revealing a cavernous maw lined with needle-like teeth. Time seemed to halt as the camera froze, capturing the harrowing moment when the alligator's primal instincts took over, and the swamp echoed with its sinister presence.
That is crazy, dude.
In that heart-stopping encounter, the man's fate hung by a fragile thread, and the camera bore witness to this terrifying dance with the unknown, an experience that would forever haunt the memories of those who had beheld it. Thermal Bigfoot in Forest. Deep within a creepy forest where the trees seemed to whisper secrets, our trail camera captured something unbelievable. Bigfoot! It's not just any sighting, it's a spooky encounter with the mysterious creature. The footage shows Bigfoot looking ghostly and surrounded by an eerie glowing aura. It hid among the trees like a phantom, and we couldn't make out its huge shape clearly. The special camera made it even creepier, giving it an otherworldly vibe. But what makes this encounter really scary is that Bigfoot remained a mystery. It was a master of disguise, blending perfectly into the dark forest shadows. The video is so unclear that it leaves us with more questions than answers. Is it a protector of the wilderness, a ghostly keeper of hidden secrets? This eerie meeting with Bigfoot reminds us there are still mysteries in our world, things we can't explain. It's a spooky reminder that the unknown and the supernatural might be hiding just beyond our understanding, deep within that forbidden forest. Shocking ghostly encounter. On a dark moonlit night, it happens in a regular house, where a lady is taking a nice relaxing shower. She has no idea that something horrifying is about to happen. As the warm water flows over her, it relaxes her, washing away her worries. The bathroom fills with steam, making everything feel calm. But she doesn't know that something really bad is lurking outside the bathroom. When she finishes her shower, she steps out onto the cold bathroom floor, still hearing the sound of dripping water. She's scared as she goes down the dimly lit hallway towards the staircase. Then, right there at the edge of what's real and what's scary, she stops. She sees a ghostly figure all twisted and scary. The ghost's eyes are empty, and it looks like it shouldn't exist. She tries to scream, but no sound comes out. Fear grips her, and the room seems to close in on her. In that terrifying moment, it's like the line between life and death disappears, and her world turns into a nightmare she might never escape. Deadly alligator. In a remote corner of India, a camera captured a bone-chilling scene. Here, in a murky river area, an eerie coexistence unfolded between hippos and alligators. Normally, the hippos ruled the domain, but this footage unveiled a sinister secret. A colossal alligator, a monstrous 19.7 meters in length, held dominion. This gargantuan predator struck terror into the hearts of all, indiscriminately slaughtering animals, massive hippos, and even humans who ventured too close. Desperate attempts were made by brave soldiers to end its reign of terror. Their bullets aimed at the Leviathan, but it proved futile. This colossal creature, 60 years old in its final photograph taken in 2009, seemed invincible. As darkness fell over the river, this malevolent alligator cast an ominous shadow over the land, spreading fear with its unmatched power. A chilling tale of an unholy ruler in the heart of India's wilderness, where the line between predator and legend blurred, leaving a haunting legacy in its wake. Terrifying forest. Deep within a creepy and spooky forest, a lone man ventured into the ominous jungle. He clutched his camera tightly, his hands trembling with fear. The air was heavy with an unsettling silence, occasionally interrupted by rustling leaves and distant owl hoots, as if the woods itself held its breath in anticipation. As he aimed his camera, an unexplainable chill crawled up his spine. He sensed unseen eyes watching him from the thick shadows, confirming he wasn't alone.
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me.
Fear consumed him, but his insatiable curiosity drove him to keep recording, his voice shaking with every word.
But it followed me home, and it is absolutely staring at me right now.
Then it happened. The camera lens captured something massive, something monstrous. Emerging from behind a decaying tree log, shrouded in mist and looming darkness, was Bigfoot, a creature of legend and an abomination of nature. A primal terror gripped the man as he witnessed this nightmarish being. His body shook with fear, his voice reduced to feeble whispers, but he couldn't look away.
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me.
The camera kept rolling, documenting the horror of that terrifying moment, forever preserving his encounter with the unimaginable. In the heart of the haunted forest, the man's screams and the unholy presence of Bigfoot blended into a terrifying symphony that would haunt his nightmares forever. Bigfoot's snowy horror encounter. In the middle of winter, something shocking happened in a quiet, snowy Park City. A doorbell camera, usually used for everyday things, recorded something unbelievable. Bigfoot, the legendary creature. The video showed a huge, hairy creature standing in the snowy landscape. It moved gracefully through the thick snow, like it was enjoying the cold. But what really scared people was the strange sound it made. It was a horrifying, deep roar that echoed through the icy air. This sound was so terrifying that it made people's blood run cold, like scary music playing on a calm winter night. As the camera kept recording, Bigfoot did something eerie and strange. It threw snow into the air and let it fall around its big body like ghostly confetti. This bizarre sight left people shaking with fear. They didn't know whether to be amazed by seeing something so unbelievable or scared because they couldn't explain what it was. The doorbell camera had accidentally captured something out of this world, showing that Bigfoot was in that snowy Park City. It was a moment that would always be remembered as a really scary event, reminding us that there are things we don't understand hidden in the wild. Foam on streets. Sometimes, a little malfunction in the operating systems can turn into a big disaster. However, in this video, a unique sight was witnessed by the residents of Santa Clara, California. It was reported that the streets of Santa Clara were flooded by unique white snow that had foamy texture and dissolved upon touching. Quite an absurd-looking sight, isn't it? It must be heaven for children. However, on proper investigations, it was found that there was a fault in the fire alarm system of a nearby factory, which resulted in vast amounts of foam coming out of the factory floors. The local police reported that the snowy foam was waist-line thick, but it would soon disappear from the streets due to its dissolving nature. This accident would have been dangerous if it hadn't been for the fire alarm. Imagine if hazardous chemicals and factory waste would have made their way to the residential streets. It would have been dangerous for the locals, as these factory wastes contain harmful toxic contents. But thankfully, the roads of Santa Clara were lucky enough not to witness such a horrible sight. Dog's mysterious arrival. Imagine filming the final moments of a car race on a sound and quiet night. Filled with only intense drifting sounds, and suddenly, a new domain transports a dog in the middle of the racetrack. It is pretty absurd and strange, isn't it? In this video, a man recorded two cars in all their glory, and sparks drifting at full speed toward the alleged final line. The air is filled with excitement and the loud noises from their power engines. But as soon as the camera shifts its angle towards the other side, a dog comes out of nowhere. The spectator defined it as a teleportation scene from some science fiction movie. To testify the validity of this scene, the man slowed down the video, focusing right on the dog. The dog suddenly appeared in the picture after one of the cars and ran across the road in the rush of events. It was indeed a peculiar sight. However, it couldn't be called teleportation or coming out of some other realm because it would be some trick of an AI. Unexpected predator victor. In a deadly encounter between a rattlesnake and a bobcat, who'd you choose if you were asked to bet on one? The venomous rattlesnake is known for its lethal and poisonous venom, but sometimes nature works contrary to our popular belief. A trail camera was set up by a bunch of hikers to record the mysterious wildlife of the dense forest. But little did they know that they would be witnessing the deadliest encounters of all time. In the video, a wild bobcat is roaming aimlessly through the dense forest, but those cautious eyes catch something mysterious slithering over a fallen log. The rattling sounds persuaded the cat to have a bite of this strange creature, and at the same time, the rattlesnake aimed at a big chunk of the meal. Within a few minutes, the battle started between the deadliest snake on Earth and a rather humble creature, a wild bobcat. Results are anticipated to favor the rattlesnake. But guys, one shouldn't take these cute creatures as polite and innocent. To our astonishment, the cat grabbed the snake by its sharp paws and attacked directly on its neck, giving it multiple blows in the same area to make its attack fatal. In no time, the snake surrendered and the cat was seen carrying the lifeless snake toward its hiding, proving that never take your cute cats as naive and poor little fellas. These can snap their target in the blink of an eye. Ghostly woods fire. Have you ever seen a jester playing with fire and pulling off lethal yet spectacular stunts? He amazes us with his beautiful and peculiar patterns, sometimes unimaginable tricks with fire, leaving his spectators in utter shock. Mother Nature can pull even greater stunts and the deadliest of tricks, unbelievable and unthinkable to the human eye, enough to make us jump out of our seats and wonder over the enigmatic nature of our worldly domain. Our natural world can sometimes act strangely sufficient to be called a mysterious realm. One such incident caught our attention when, deep in the forests of Portugal, a spectator captured some ghostly flames making strange waves and patterns amidst the burning forest. It seemed these flames were dancing over some rhythmic beat, hallucinating and inviting the wildlife into its trap, and then encroaching gradually over the entire woods. These unique swirls and blazes were enough to force the spectator to capture this strange sight. The atmosphere appeared as a demonic ritual, a devil's den, and a satanic cauldron. However, this occurrence serves as a reminder of nature's unpredictable forces, asking us to respect and protect our environment. Bear versus pigs battle. In a daring and surprising set of events, a wild intruder is seen speaking to the newly shifted members of the neighborhood. The enormous black bear sniffed across the forest and quietly walked towards the pig's cage. At first, the bear was seen taking the measurements of the cell, gauging the efforts required to climb this cage. And when it was satisfied with its plan of attack, it made its first attempt. The pig seemed oblivious to the whole situation, as no squeaking sounds were heard. However, after a few tries, when it was about to jump into the den, the pig shrieked at the bear in a deadly manner, which forced him to get out of their habitat at once. The cunning and hungry bear didn't lose hope and kept trying for another invasion. This time, it didn't let the pig get the better of him and jumped straight into the cage, attacking the pig. However, to its astonishment, the pig wasn't alone. Another vicious-looking pig aimed directly at the bear and rushed toward him in an attacking manner. This forced the bear to jump out of their cage and never disturb them again. It's a reminder of the fantastic ways animals can band together to protect themselves and their territory. cryptic Bigfoot mystery. In this video in the daytime in Colorado, a strange thing happened. A couple on vacation with a camera saw something big and hidden in the green shadows. It was a mysterious creature, huge and hard to see in the bushes. The video they took didn't show the creature well. It was like a puzzle of blurry pictures and colors. Bigfoot, as people called it, seemed like a secret whispered by the wind. Some people in the mountains shared stories of seeing such things before. The couple, just wanting to capture memories, got caught in a mystery. The Bigfoot stayed a puzzle, not easy to understand in the pictures. People who often traveled by train nearby also spoke of seeing similar creatures. On the train tracks, regular travelers shared a feeling that something unusual lived on the edges of what they could see in Colorado. What exactly was going on in the forest stayed a mystery, a riddle making people imagine different things. Was it a protector of the wild, a shadow dweller, or a visitor from unknown places? People guessed as the air buzzed with ideas about Colorado's wild secrets. When the sun went down, making long shadows, one thing was sure. Something strange had become part of that Colorado day, leaving behind lots of questions like ghosts in the fading light. Mysterious Bigfoot. On the news, they showed scary pictures of Bigfoot near the water next to a thick forest during the day. Bigfoot was huge and all dark, making people really scared. The big size and spooky feeling made everything more mysterious. The pictures were taken far from the forest, and they did not show Bigfoot, not in detail. It was a giant dark shape against the water, making people both interested and afraid. The news reporters were trying hard to find out where Bigfoot came from and why it was there. People in the area and experts had lots of ideas about Bigfoot. Some thought it was alone, just wandering around. Others believed there might be more Bigfoots living deep in the wilderness. But no one had clear answers, making Bigfoot even more mysterious. As the news about Bigfoot spread, the community got nervous. People started worrying about how safe their surroundings were. The forest, once a peaceful place, now felt uncertain. Even the authorities couldn't explain why Bigfoot suddenly showed up. Wildlife experts and regular people all talked a lot about Bigfoot. Everyone wanted to know where it came from and what it wanted. The news on TV and in newspapers talked a ton about the investigation. The strange pictures and the fear they caused made sure everyone kept talking about the Bigfoot near the water, leaving the community both interested and uneasy as they tried to understand this unexpected visitor. Mysterious Skinwalker. In the dark night, a hidden dance of shadows played on the quiet street, caught by a watchful camera. The camera, like a quiet watcher, recorded a strange figure. It looked thin and moved in a strange way, like it wasn't from our world. In the video, you could see this odd shape that didn't make sense. A skinny, ghostly thing moving oddly on the road. It made the digital recording feel creepy. This strange thing, called a skinwalker, was Bonnie, and moved in a way that didn't follow our normal rules. Its mysterious dance seemed like a secret language only it understood. Each step felt heavy, like it wasn't just in our world but somewhere beyond. People watching on screens were left with a big question. Why did this weird thing come out at night, and why did it dance like that? It wasn't hungry for food, but maybe for something mysterious, like old rituals we've forgotten. The Skinwalker story stayed hidden, a puzzle talked about in whispers. It appeared like a ghost, leaving everyone puzzled. Its mysterious dance felt like a message, but one we couldn't understand. When the video ended, the mystery stayed, a puzzle we couldn't solve. The Skinwalker disappeared into the shadows, leaving only whispers behind. People wondered, what magic made this ghostly thing appear? And would we ever know its secrets in the daylight?
Lion's attack on giraffe. Once upon a time, in a land of high rocky mountains, there was a peaceful giraffe just minding its own business. The giraffe was walking through the rugged terrain, looking for some appetizing breaks to munch on. It was a bright and sunny day, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. But suddenly, a growl echoed through the mountains, and a group of fierce lions surfaced from the rocky checks. The lions had spotted the giraffe, and hunger lustered in their eyes. They approached the giraffe with a stealthy way, their strong bodies hidden among the brilliance. The The giraffe, seeing danger, tried to run, but the rocky terrain made it delicate. The lions were determined in their pursuit, and they circled the giraffe, their roars filling the air. The giraffe, with its long legs, protested and tried to defend itself, but the lions were determined to catch their mess. The giraffe's heart competed as it faced this dangerous moment in the Rocky Mountains, encircled by empty lions. The battle between the giraffe and the lions was a fierce struggle for survival in the wild, untamed nature. A hungry monkey. Once upon a time in a big hot desert, there was actually an empty monkey. The sun was shining so brightly that the sand felt like a hot roaster. The monkey's abdomen rolled loudly and he could not ignore his hunger any longer. With his little monkey hands, he dug into the hot beach, looking for being to eat. At first, all he set up were some dry sticks and rocks, but he did not give up. He knew that the desert had secrets hidden deep beneath the beach. Also, after some digging and forbearance, he set up a secret treasure, a juicy, ripe cactus fruit. The fruit was a bright orange color and looked so appetizing. The monkey could not believe his luck. His eyes sparkled with joy as he plucked the fruit from the cactus and bit into it. The sweet and juicy meat cooled his parched throat, and he savored every bite. With each bite, the monkey's hunger sluggishly evaporated, and he felt a renewed energy. He knew he'd set up a mess fit for a desert king, and he enjoyed every last bit of that delicious cactus fruit. The monkey, now gratified and full, lay back in the shade of the cactus, appreciative for his desert feast. The wolf attack on a man. Once upon a time, there was a cameraman on an instigative adventure deep in the wild. He was on a charge to capture the fugitive and mysterious wolves on film. With his camera ready and heart pounding with excitement, he ventured into the desert. After hours of patient waiting, he eventually stumbled upon a quiet cave. To his amazement, inside the cave were a mama wolf and her bitsy, lovable babies. The cameraman could not believe his luck, and he sluggishly moved closer to get the perfect shot. But as he inched nearer, the mama wolf grew nervous and defensive. In an unforeseen, fearful moment, she attacked the cameraman, teeth disclosed and growling. He realized he'd come too close, too quickly, and the wolf was only trying to defend her precious pups. In a frantic struggle, the cameraman fought to cover himself, trying not to harm the wolf. Ultimately, he managed to retreat safely, shaken, but alive. It was a lesson learned about considering the wild and the significance of keeping a safe distance from its habitants. Snake's meal. Once upon a time, in the bright light of day, an empty and cunning snake crawled quietly through the ground. Its body moved like a curled swash, blending with the green world around it. The snake's eyes were fixated on a breathless critter lying on the ground. The animal was no longer alive, and the snake, with its sharp, sharp mouth, was determined to have a mess. With a fleet flicker of its black lingo, the snake tasted the air, trying to describe any peril hard. It was like a stealthy operative, making sure no bone could catch it while it had its mess. As the snake approached the still body, its jaws opened wide, revealing its threatening fangs. It inched closer, calculating its move, and also, with a lightning-fast strike, it sank its teeth into the breathless animal's meat. The snake's jaw locked onto its prey, and it began to sluggishly consume the mess. Its black lingo continued to flutter out, tasting the success of its search. In the bright daylight, the snake's survival instincts accepted in, and it flavored its mess, knowing it had prevailed in the circle of life. Lion killed the cheetah. Once upon a time, on a bright and sunny day, there was a big, strong lion and a fast, spotted cheetah. They both lived on a farm with lots of creatures. The lion and the cheetah were always trying to prove who was the powerful. One day, the captain and the cheetah had a big fight. The captain was actually strong, with sharp teeth and strong muscles. He roared loudly and showed his strength. The cheetah, on the other hand, was quick and graceful. She ran around trying to outsmart the lion. In the end, after a fierce battle, the lion managed to catch the cheetah. With a strong swipe of his paw, he defeated the cheetah. It was a tough day for the ranch, as the lion had shown his strength and won the battle. The other creatures watched in astonishment as the lion proved his dominance, but they also felt sad for the courageous cheetah. This day became a part of the farm's history, a day when the lion showed his power, and the cheetah's spirit faded from memory. Thank you for coming along on this spooky adventure with us. Subscribe to our channel if you want more spine-chilling stories and hair-raising encounters. And remember to set that notification bell to ensure you get all the updates on our fascinating adventures. Giant snake. In a regular house during the day, a secret video showed something strange. A really big snake was hiding behind the room's roof. It was so big that it scared everyone. Suddenly, the snake broke the roof and showed itself completely. It was long and wide, making everyone feel really scared. No one knew where this snake came from. This huge snake did mysterious things, like a dance with the roof. It was like a magic show, and it surprised everyone watching the video. The snake was like a king in the room, making everything else seem not important. People watching couldn't believe their eyes. It was so strange and big that it gave them chills. When the roof broke, it was like a secret being revealed. Everyone watching was curious about where this giant snake came from. It was like a big question in the air. Where did the snake come from? And what secrets did it bring with it? This mysterious moment was like a strange and confusing picture. The snake, like a ghost, left a strong mark on everyone's thoughts. In the quiet house, people kept thinking about the strange encounter. The big question stayed in the air. Where did the snake appear from, and what secrets did it have? Gray owls. A magical video shows an old forest with a wise gray owl and its two babies. The owl is big and looks cute with lots of soft feathers. Gray owls are the biggest owls on Earth. They live in the daytime, which is unusual for owls. The video makes the forest seem mysterious. The owl is like a guardian of the ancient trees. The babies stay close, hidden in the shadows. It's like a living memory of the past, seen in the patterns on tree bark. In the video, the owl watches over its babies, keeping them safe from things we can't see in the sunlight. It's like a story in nature, a family tale told without words. The owl's eyes show it knows things from a long time ago, like a wise storyteller. Even in the daylight, the owl keeps its mystery, defying the usual rules. The video lets us join the owl in protecting its family. It's a quiet adventure in the woods, with the owl guarding against hidden dangers in the sunlight. The gray owl isn't just a bird of the day. It's a magical guardian, keeping secrets woven into its feathers. The ancient woods whisper their mysteries, inviting anyone curious enough to explore the enigma of the gray owl and its family. The crazy deer. Once upon a time in the deep forest, there lived a deer family. They were a close-knit bunch, always looking out for one another. But one day, something strange occurred to one of the deer. This deer, who was usually calm and gentle, suddenly began to act in an unusual way. It all started when the deer accidentally hit another family member. Rather than just apologizing and moving on, the deer began to hit them. It was a shocking sight. The other family members were bewildered and did not understand what was going on. As the days went by, the abnormal actions continued. The deer would hit anyone who came near, causing fear among the family. They did not know what had changed their cherished family member into such a troublemaker. The formerly peaceful family was now in disquiet. The deer family tried to talk to the worried deer, but it was as if they could not reach them. They desperately searched for a way to help their worried family members and bring back the harmony they formerly enjoyed in the deep forest. alpine ibex in the mountains. In the classy mountains, a powerful animal with long, twisted horns roams freely. As the camera follows this glorious animal, you can see its thick brown fur, which keeps it warm in the cold alpine air. Its strong legs easily carry it up to bold pitches and rocky scarps. As it trots along the tough area, being unique catches its concentration. The ibex stops and begins to scratch its body using its enormous spiral-structured horns. It's a remarkable sight, those twisted attachments, originally a symbol of strength and protection, now serving as an informal tail scrape. The animal's movements are graceful and thoughtful, showing its nimbleness and adaptation to the harsh mountain life. Its journey through this fresh nature is an evidence to nature's unbelievable creations, where indeed the putatively ordinary can come extraordinary. Watch and wonder as this alpine habitat continues its daily adventures in the high-altitude walk of the mountains. Bobcat encounter. In a forested scene, a robust bobcat aggressively pounces, targeting a man's facial region with violence. After the unsettling encounter, the man documents the aftermath on video. Astonishingly, he captures footage of himself holding the once aggressive bobcat in his hand. Notably, the video showcases the creature's significant dental structures, underscoring the impressive size and form of its teeth.
Look at that beauty. The big teethers on it.
This unusual and daring incident sheds light on the captivating behavior of wildlife in its natural habitat, offering a unique glimpse into the complex relationship between humans and the untamed creatures that inhabit the wild.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Let's get up.
So, I know spotting an old man just walking anywhere does not sound spooky or anything, but spotting something which looks like an old man but with no head and carrying God knows what in his hand is one disturbing thing. To some it was a demon, while to others some kind of prank. But whatever it was, the man was not something you'd want to encounter in your life. Most of us just want to stay away from danger, but some curious minds, they just love diving deep into the mysteries. For instance, these two. While wandering in the forest, they came across an abandoned mine shaft. By the looks of it, it seemed like it's been centuries till the mine shaft has been used by anyone. So, well, unlike every normal human being, these two decided to go a little closer and check what was in there. And a second later, we knew the reason why the mine shaft was abandoned, as a weird creature with glowing eyes just pops out of nowhere. Just as spiders have been caught crawling on the trail cams, some other weird creatures have been caught flying here and there as well. For instance, take this one. This Ring camera was supposed to keep eyes on the intruders, but what it recorded left the house owners in shock. At first, what you see might look like a spider, but some tiny strange creatures keep flying around the camera. But what was it? Some fairies or something else? Do let us know what you guys think. When this man was trying to find something out of the ordinary in the woods, he came across exactly that. A weird, tiny creature with glowing eyes hiding deep under some abandoned well. And even though he was just looking for that kind of thing, the man did not stop for even a second to have a closer look at that thing. This video captures this super creepy guy lurking around in the woods. The person filming tries to have a chat with him and figure out what he's doing there.
How you doing? Oh.
But he doesn't say a single word. Instead, he just makes these spine-chilling noises that'll totally creep you out. After a moment, the man begins crawling out of the woods in the most bizarre manner, and that's when the person filming becomes spooked and decides to leave the area. So there's this video of these guys who went for a night walk in the woods. They had a flashlight, but it was still hella dark. As they were walking, they found this strange creature sitting on the ground with its back to them. At first, they figured it was some sort of animal, but when it turned its head around, they saw these creepy glowing eyes and a super creepy face. Some folks say it was a demon, while others reckon it was a fallen angel. Either way, it's some seriously spooky stuff. This video features a man who was intrigued by unusual sounds emanating from the sewer near his home. He'd heard similar noises before and had seen what he believed to be an extraterrestrial being. In a courageous attempt, he tried to communicate with the creature, but the outcome was anything but calm. While some speculate that it may have been the rake, the identity of the creature remains a mystery. Dark web is something we all know about, but not everyone can access. And trust me, the ones who did access it ended up regretting. Take this video for example. We see a creepy creature moving in the house from hallway to the room and then to God knows where. And if you're thinking it was human, just look at the way it's walking. Does that look human to you? In July 2021, some people were on their way back to their home in India. According to them, it was somewhere around midnight when they came across this creepy figure walking along the road. Good thing they had a dash cam installed in their car, so we got this footage. And just look at the way it's walking. It seems like an alien to me. But do let us know what you guys think. A man in Australia was out for his routine walk when he came across this strange-looking worm-like thing. It's not the fact that it looks like a worm that makes it strange, but it's the length of the thing and the way it's divided into multiple segments is what makes it strangest of all. I've never seen any worm of such length before. This man heard some strange noises from the forest and decided to venture out there late at night to see if he could find something interesting. However, he came across a bizarre creature lurking behind a tree and making creepy whistle-like noises. When he spotted it, he sprinted away as fast as he could, and fortunately, he managed to escape without harm. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then, what was it? I guess we'll never know. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky, or maybe hiding perfectly, that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. Now these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor, and if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either, so we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. At first, we see a deer, all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice, too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but two massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam? Or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Are dwarves real, or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods. As the videographer was recording a moose by the side of the road in Gaspésie, Quebec, Canada, they noticed an oddity in the footage. Although the moose was initially the only thing in view, the viewer became curious about a strange figure on the back left of the video. The clip gained a lot of attention online, and many people made guesses about what the enigmatic figure could be, ranging from supernatural beings to extraterrestrial life forms. The question of what could be hiding in the Quebec wilderness remains unanswered, causing people to wonder. This image is taken from two videos. One which shows a ghost attempting to hide from something, and to do that he jumps into the water. This whole thing was recorded on a trail cam set nearby to look for animals. The next clip shows an alien-like figure peeking from behind the tree. If it wasn't for the glowing eyes, the figure might have gone unnoticed and considered to be just part of the tree. In the video, a group of individuals is seen walking at night with torches and sticks while leading some goats. Everything seems ordinary until you spot a white goat with an unusual object hanging from its neck. The men appear frightened by the object, which stays attached to the goat even when they attempt to take it off. Eventually, it resembles a strange shadow on the ground, swiftly heading towards the forest and vanishing. To me, it appears quite disturbing. What are your thoughts on what it might be? This video was captured by a brave soul who thought it would be a really great idea to go out alone into the deep woods at night. He thought he'd end up meeting some unusual beings and, well, guess what? He got exactly what he was expecting. A creepy little cryptid staring right at him from behind the tree. Was it just waiting for the right moment to attack, or was it too scared to come out? The mystery has been unsolved since forever. Considering the last clip, if you think the woods are only creepy and unsafe at night, let us tell you how wrong you are. And this video will prove it to you. These trees were recorded moving. Like, literally moving from one place to another. Was it the neighborhood that annoyed them, or they felt unsafe due to humans? We could never know since trees don't talk. Now, this one might be just an image taken by a trail cam and not a whole video, but this single image is enough for us to get an idea about how eerie and unbelievable life in the woods can be. Was it an alien or just an animal from an unusual angle? We can't say for sure, but you let us know if you have any ideas. If you think it's just another usual trail cam video which shows gorillas sitting here and there and busy with their normal routine, that's not the case. These aren't just any gorillas. These are the Cross River gorillas, and sadly they're endangered with only 200 individuals left to survive. In fact, these are the rarest gorillas on the whole planet. And this trail cam happened to capture these majestic creatures living their lives in Cameroon. You must be thinking it's too dark and too blurry to actually determine that's a Bigfoot going about in the woods, but the size of the creature and what we can make out from the darkness, I don't see any chance of it being some other animal other than Bigfoot. I mean, we can see it walking on 2 feet and it being all dark and hairy, and its size as compared to the trees is pretty huge. Ask me and I'd say it's a Bigfoot for sure. This man had heard that mysterious creatures lurk in the desert, especially at night. So he did what anyone would do, set up a camera and waited for the night to pass so he could go check if it captured anything unusual. And to his surprise, it actually did. What was it? A death worm? An alien? A monster? We'll give you a moment to take a guess. But when he inspected it all, it turned out it was just a buffalo. But scary nonetheless. Don't worry, man, we were just as confused as you were. In June 2022, a man's security camera happened to click a photo which had the whole world in shock. Even the mainstream media couldn't help but feature it. They called it the Wolfman. Nobody had any idea if that was someone playing a prank or was it really a Wolfman. At first, the residents of the area thought it was just a coyote responsible for the missing animals and spreading fear everywhere, so they set up cameras everywhere in hopes of catching the animal in the act. However, what the camera ended up recording was something that blew their minds. A huge creature was seen lurking in the woods. And what else could it be except for the famous Sasquatch, right? It was never caught, but was never seen ever again either. Maybe it's since that humans have come about it. What do we call a person gliding through the streets, not walking like normal human beings, but moving in some otherworldly form? We call it a ghost, and a ghost is what this CCTV camera ended up recording. Now, don't ask me whose ghost it was, because I don't know about that, but it does seem like in a hurry. Maybe he was going on his daily haunting duty. What do you say? A crooked, glowing creature moving in the weirdest way possible in the street. If I ever see something like that, I'm going to leave the country for good. I don't know how these people get the courage to actually stand there and record such stuff. And, well, as soon as this video hit the internet, it had everyone in shock. Questions arising from everywhere about the authenticity of the clip and the identity of the creature, but the questions had been unanswered ever since. How fast is a mountain lion, and how sneaky is it? If you find yourself wondering such questions, then we're here to give you answers. As this mountain lion sneaked up on the deer, and the deer was all clamped in its claws in a matter of mere seconds, and good thing this was all captured on a trail cam installed somewhere in California, and if you notice, the leap is right on the neck, fast and on target. Amazing. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between two male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, but it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken. To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans, but man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle. At first, the coyote could be seen running away from the camera's range of vision, and shortly after, the mountain lion appeared and chased after the coyote. And after a few seconds, we could hear the coyote screaming for help, indicating that the mountain lion had caught it. That's how fast these deadly lions are. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me. There was a guy in Brazil who saw something strange on a rooftop while he was doing his own thing and decided to record it. What he captured was a weird creature that looked like a huge ant hanging out on the roof. Some people thought it was extraterrestrial, but to me it looks like a really big ant. Brazil has all sorts of creepy crawlies, so who knows what else is out there, right? The freakiest part is that the creature vanishes right after the guy spots it. What was it doing up there? We may never find out. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows 2 stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a 2-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and 2 lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well. Do you doubt the existence of Bigfoot and other creatures like that? Well, check this out. There's some drone footage that might make you think twice. In the video, you can see some enormous trees shaking like crazy as if a giant monster is trying to pull them out of the ground. And we're not talking about puny trees. These ones are huge and super tall. No way could a person or machine do something like that. So do you still believe that Bigfoots are just made-up stories? And this video was captured on a trail cam, and it's just too cute to miss. You can see a mother fox and her 4 cubs all playing around and annoying their mom a bit, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. What's even more amazing is that the family seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're being recorded. This picture shows a Bigfoot walking through the woods. It was taken by a trail cam installed in the Charleston area, but when they went to investigate it, it turned out to just be a cutout of a cardboard, which was all part of a prank pulled by someone. Believe it or not, this bear from Boulder, Colorado has become the new selfie champ. The story goes that this curious creature found a camera with a motion sensor and decided to go wild with it. The outcome? More than 400 snapshots of the bear posing in all kinds of ways, giving his best sultry gaze and even making some goofy faces. This bear wasn't going to quit until it got every picture just right for social media. A man happened to capture this slimy thing when it was on his way somewhere, and since it wasn't like anything he'd seen before, he decided to capture it on camera. It doesn't appear to have any eyes, but a head-like thing which moves a little bit. It looks something like what a blob would look like. So is it some new species? And if it is, then I'd rather stay away from this slimy thing. Ever wondered how large anacondas are? What's the maximum limit they can go to? Well, they can easily go to 30 feet, and this anaconda right here can give you an idea of how dangerous these beings can be. The tree can't even hold its weight, and it comes down as the snake tries slithering its way up on it. Watching this, I'm really glad Titanoboas are long gone, or God knows what might have happened. Maybe it really was a rake, or maybe just a gorilla with glowing eyes. Though the chances of it being the latter are pretty low because there aren't many gorillas whose eyes glow like that in pitch dark. So what does that mean? Was it really a rake? And if so, then where did it go after staring at the camera? Are they hiding it in the deep dark regions? Or do you think it's all fake? When two guys were out in the woods filming and doing their thing, they heard weird noises coming from somewhere nearby, and they thought it'd be better to go and check the area out. Not knowing what was coming, they went there, and then this happened. A weird whitish creature came running towards them, freaking them out. The video ends abruptly, so we're not sure what happened to them. If you think you're safe from the weird beings if you're at your home, then you're wrong. They follow you everywhere you go. For instance, take a look at this clip. This man thought he lived alone until a kid appeared from behind the TV, peeking from behind. The man had to go check, and that's when things got weird, because the kid completely vanishes when the man reaches there. And this bended like a dog creature was caught on camera running away from something, and this is the point where I wonder, was it scared of something? Or did it do something and was trying to run and not get caught? Even after millions of views on the internet, no one was able to tell exactly what that was. Let's say the day's pretty stormy outside and you still think that you need to go outside to see how bad the weather is. And when you do, this is what you see? What will you do? Obviously go back into the house as soon as possible, right? Unlike this man who thought he should take his camera out and record it all. A brave soul, I must say, or maybe it's fake. What do you think? Just the head out of the water, standing straight, not even moving an inch, and water dripping from its mouth. This is a creature which was caught on camera somewhere in China. As soon as the video hit the internet, people started claiming it was a sea dragon. But the question is it really? Or is it just a fountain more than half inside the water? Let us know if you know anything about it. Long gone are the days when black cats were considered signs of bad luck or other things, but there are times when I find myself wondering, what if those people were right? And you'll agree with me when you see this black cat with glowing eyes staring straight towards the man. She refuses to clear the path for the man, which of course scares the hell out of him, and not only that, she also attacks and hisses at the man. What remains unexplained is what caused this cat to show such weird behavior. Insects are creepy, and there's no denying that, but what if I tell you that these creatures are starting to get even creepier? Look at this one, for instance. When people saw it for the first time, they weren't just weirded out, but also confused, not knowing what kind of insect it was. But let me tell you, it's called Creatonatos gangus, and it's a kind of moth, usually called the monster moth, created by Satan himself. While exploring the park, a man stumbled upon a squishy mass in the pond that bore a striking resemblance to a brain wiggling around in the water. Fortunately, it wasn't a human brain as he initially feared. Nevertheless, its peculiar nature was just as bewildering as a real brain would have been. It turned out to be a collection of minuscule creatures rarely seen before. People who've encountered this unusual formation have given it interesting monikers such as Blob Monster and Dragon Booger. A security guard whose duty, unfortunately, was of night, and he had to guard the building all night long. For some days, he was hearing weird noises, like someone slamming the door, but he didn't pay much attention to it. But one day, it was getting a little too much, so gathered all the courage and went to check who exactly is there. While he couldn't see anyone, his camera captured a ghostly shadow on it. But was the ghost behind all those noises, or was there something more scary hidden? No one could even answer that. A Facebook picture circulated in 2014 had a lot of people up there worried. The post was shared thousands of times within a few hours and had a lot of people uttering the word skinwalker, a well-known legend in Indian country. The picture shows an unexplained being lurking on the side of a road. In April 2023, people saw a mysterious creature swimming in the water. It was in a park where most of them went jogging in the morning, so a lot of witnesses were there. The creature looked like it was stuck in the water but refused to come out, so no one could really tell what it was except that it was unusual and nothing like they'd ever seen before. To some, it looked like a serpent, but nothing was ever confirmed. When the video was uploaded, no one could tell what it was. A caterpillar? Or maybe some other insect? But it didn't look like anyone had seen before. Well, I did my research, and it came out to be a thing called a case-bearing clothes moth. And this thing is just as weird as its name. They're named due to the silken case the larva weaves to protect itself while it's eating your carpet, and, well, I too would be weirded out if I ever saw one. I don't know what the man was doing on that raft and going exactly where, but when he turned the camera towards the thing he thought was following him, it definitely gave me creeps. If something like that was following me, I don't know how I'd remain so calm and record it all. But, well, he did, and after watching the clip, many suspected it to be a mermaid or something similar. Even though nothing was confirmed, there's still a slight chance that it might be. You must have watched Courage the Cowardly Dog. Well, let's just say life might just be the same for some people. For instance, this young man who recorded the clip of this weird creature lurking somewhere on Earth. Now, I don't know what place that is, and I don't want to know either. Just look at the size. Who would be so calm recording it and not running for their life? Unless it's fake. When a man was looking outside his window, he saw something very weird. There was a man sitting in front if he looked through the glass. But when he saw not from the window glass, there was nobody. How exactly is that possible? Unless it's a vampire or something. But was it? What do you guys think? A few years back, some workers were assigned the work to go to the back side of the factory and check why one of the drainage pipes was blocked, since it was causing a lot of problems. So they went with their phone cameras rolling to get video evidence of whatever problem they faced. But they ended up capturing something they weren't expecting at all. A white figure peeked from inside the pipe, leaving them shocked. This pig comes from China, and it looks very different from other pigs. Its face is shaped in a way that some people find scary, and it has a nose that looks strange, like a person's nose or something that boys have. Because of its unusual face shape, it has trouble breathing, and its tongue sticks out of its mouth in a funny way. When it opens its mouth wide, it looks like it's screaming, but no sound comes out. It seems like nature didn't protect this little piglet enough. Encountering a Bigfoot from a distance is one thing, but witnessing the spectacle of a colossal creature stumbling and tumbling takes it to a whole new level, and that's precisely what this individual managed to capture on camera. Two immense beings, possibly Yetis, were observed devouring an animal, and within seconds, one of them lost balance and rolled down the icy slope. Despite being recorded in 2016, no one has been able to provide a reasonable explanation to this day. While most individuals tend to avoid perilous situations, there are those inquisitive souls who relish delving deep into the enigmatic realms. Take, for instance, this duo who, during their forest expedition, stumbled upon an abandoned mine shaft. Judging by its appearance, it seemed as though centuries had passed since anyone had set foot inside. Contrary to the instincts of regular folks, these two individuals decided to approach the mine shaft and investigate its contents. However, within seconds, they discovered why the mine shaft had been forsaken. An unusual creature with luminous eyes suddenly materialized out of thin air. Some men were driving their way home late at night when they saw something weird nearby, so they stopped their car and decided to film it on their camera. And when you see this, you'll be just freaked out as it shows a creepy creature looking towards the men from behind something. Some claimed it was the rake, while others said it was just someone in a costume, but nothing was for sure. This cat was doing the usual cat stuff, and the owner of the cat was recording herself being herself, just like most cat people out there do. But then something weird happened. A creepy hand came from under the drawer and tried grabbing the cat. People were quick to suspect it was a demon living under there. What do you think about it? When people started hearing weird noises coming from the sewers, they informed the authorities. However, even after investigating, there was nothing to be found, so they set a camera under there, and this is what the camera recorded. A pair of glowing eyes. Like the creatures came to inspect and quickly ran away after seeing the camera. Pretty scary, don't you think? Where trail cameras usually take pictures of animals when they're doing their normal things like resting, looking for food, and doing their daily tasks, sometimes these cameras capture really strange and funny moments too. Like this bear who was just doing its bear things when suddenly it saw something really strange in front of it. It was its own reflection. Can you imagine? The bear was really surprised and didn't like it at all. It didn't expect to see itself like that, and it got upset, or at least it seemed like it did. This CCTV camera was only mounted to ensure the safety of the vehicles and all, but it ended up recording a weird creature who crawled up to a poster on the wall and then continued to scratch it to pieces before moving away and out of the camera's reach. And even if we look at it closely, it looks nothing like a human wearing any costume. This Eagle Cam captures amazing footage off the coast of Southern California, specifically the west end of Catalina Island. We see a bald eagle in its cliffside nest about to settle for the night. A sly fox approaches hoping for free eggs, but Mama Eagle intimidates it. She calls for her mate who quickly responds. The fox posed no threat to the eagle, but was after the eggs. This video reveals the dangers of lurking in the wild and for the animals at night, as some predators prefer coming out when others are asleep. In January 2021, a clip went viral which showed a weird hairless creature crawling up to things in the jungle. As much as it creeped people out, it also alerted the authorities who began the search for it. And after months and months of search, they actually did find it. Though the bear was in pretty rough condition, he was scared and weak and had to be kept in a cage before he was transferred to somewhere safe and where he can be taken care of. People have been claiming the man here might be Jesus, but is it really? Or was it just some fake edited video? But just for a minute, if we consider it to be real, then wouldn't it be the weirdest clip out there? How did the man vanish into this strong flow of water? Did he survive? And if so, how? So many questions, and just one short clip as an answer is what we have. Now, as compared to all other videos in this list, this one might be the scariest of all. It was uploaded on YouTube in 2020 and freaked everyone out. Some said it was a weird being who lives in the sewers near their home, and others said it was a blob like a human mutant, but it later turned out that it was a man pranking his own friend. Look at the couple all happy, in love with each other. The clip seems so lovey-dovey. If you don't pay attention to what's happening in the background, let us slow it down a bit so you can have a closer look at the demon standing right behind them and then disappearing just a second after. The demons and the ghosts might only come out at night, but the witches can do it anytime they want. For instance, this one time when a man caught a woman dressed in white on his camera. She was standing behind the dumpsters, her hair all messy and on her face. Ask me, and she looked like she just came from a horror movie set. Or maybe she actually did. When this clip went viral, it scared the hell out of everyone who watched it. The massive gorilla-like figure was seen in it, but it was no gorilla, and that everyone could tell for sure. But then, what was it? That's the question no one has been able to answer. Bear catches trail cam. Trail cam catching animals doing their usual stuff is old. Animals catching trail cam recording them is new these days. Take this bear for instance. He was going on his way when suddenly he turned towards the camera, giving it a look like acknowledging the fact that the camera is there. It was a stormy day when this guy decided to go on a drive, and he never expected what he was going to see on his way. It was a massive bat, the largest anyone has ever seen. Or was it even a bat? It could be an alien too. You let us know what you guys think. In this intriguing video, we see a cat relaxing under a deck while a bald eagle unexpectedly enters the yard. The cat curiously observes the eagle as it approaches. They have a respectful standoff for over 15 minutes, and the cat cautiously approaches the eagle, causing its back to arch, and the eagle spreads its wings. It's unclear what the eagle's intentions were, whether it was after the cat or something else, but it was an intriguing clip nonetheless. This video has sent shivers down the spines of everyone who's watched it. In the dead of night, a strange, luminous creature is seen crawling on the ground in an isolated location. Some refer to it as the rake, while others speculate that it might be an unidentified animal. However, the individuals who captured the footage claim that although it resembled a human, it was undoubtedly not human. So what exactly was it? Perhaps we'll never truly know. While taking his usual stroll, an Australian man stumbled upon an intriguing creature that resembled a worm but possessed some peculiar characteristics. What truly sets it apart is not its worm-like appearance, but rather its remarkable length and segmented structure. I've never witnessed a worm of such considerable size before. A deceased werewolf was discovered by a farmer who subsequently handed it over to researchers for examination and analysis. Later on, unidentified individuals shared photos and videos of the werewolf, instilling great terror in those who came across them. Despite the researchers' diligent efforts to investigate, they were unable to provide any explanation, further deepening the enigma surrounding the incident. The dark web is a realm familiar to many, yet accessible to only a few. Trust me when I say that those who have ventured into it have often come to rue their decision. Allow me to present this video as evidence. An eerie creature silently traverses, moving from the hallway into a room and eventually disappearing into unknown territories. And if you suspect it to be a human, take a closer look at its peculiar gait. Does that resemble the movement of a human being to you? The notion of mermaids being mythical creatures may be called into question after watching this video. In India, a man spotted something extraordinary swimming in the water and approached it for closer examination. To his astonishment, he discovered a creature that bore an uncanny resemblance to a mermaid, albeit smaller in size than anticipated. Could it be a baby mermaid? Or perhaps a tiny drowning monkey? Given the abrupt conclusion of the video, we cannot definitively determine the truth.
This mind-blowing trail footage unravels an unexplained creature. It is a black creature with 4 legs and white, shining eyes, which makes it hard to identify it. Just look at the scary eyes of this animal. On top of that, this video was captured in the dark night, with some horror sounds of these wild creatures in the back. With every inch closer to this animal, it gets more horrifying to see. It is very brave of you all for sticking with this. Believe me, some more disturbing shots are yet to come. Have you ever seen a headless chicken? Yes, this is Mike, a headless chicken. It has not only survived a month or two, but has successfully lived up to 18 months. Isn't this spine-chilling? A chicken with no head has lived up to the age of a normal chicken. Told you this is gonna be crazy. Trust me, you'll be thrilled to see 2 bobcats negotiating a date. They see each other from a distance and start yowling. As they approach each other, they look into the eyes with constant growling. Both give awkward poses with rapid tail twitching. The gray cat is the female, and the red one is the male. It seems that the whole scene is directed by a renowned director. Can you believe that this loving video was captured on Valentine's Day? Deer are known for their naughty behavior. We have mischievous footage for you this time. This is a whitetail from early June in full velvet antlers in the Kamloops, British Columbia area. Deer are fast with their tongues, so we had to freeze the frame at the right moment. This deer was using his nose and tongue to pick up a scent on the trail. Amidst a deep, dark night in the forest, our camera caught an unnerving sight. Just look at this photo of greater kudu posing for the camera. Look at the beauty of these graceful animals. Who would not think this scene to be painted? This has been captured by a trail camera. There's a message in the eyes of these wild yet elegant animals, and it seems like they want to convey something. Another delicate balance between peace and horror is this encounter. People set out their tents on the trail side when a bear arrives at the campsite and steals their food. It opens the cooler to find hot dogs. Seeing a bear eating the goods carelessly is a captivating shot, perhaps. However, people fear bears. The campers are fortunate that the bear is busy with food and has not sniffed the humans. We've learned a lesson from this video, that you should never, ever leave your food by your tent. A video of a deer eating a bird in the sunlight has been seen through our trail camera. Now this is something to see, because a deer is mostly associated with grass. But this deer ate the whole bird, even the skeleton too. You'll be mesmerized yet disturbed to experience such a sight. Look at the poised eyes of this deer. Now, just think about the innocent birds. That bird would have never thought that a deer would be his predator. But welcome to wildlife. Enough scary sights for now. Let's see some heartwarming scenes. Watch this amazing crow removing harmful ticks and parasites from a deer's skin in just a few seconds. This is an amazing wildlife video you don't want to miss. The crow is removing the pesticides with astonishing precision and accuracy. This amazing video shows how cool crows are and how they can help us protect our environment. Our camera has captured an intense moment between a bear and a reindeer. Both stand face to face, entangled in confrontation. Just look at these shining eyes of deer. He refuses to be afraid of a predator. While the confidence of deer triggers the predatory instincts of the bear, it's a struggle for survival. You're lucky to witness the beauty and escalation. It is a twist in our journey of disturbing trail footage. This camera has recorded a unique video. Meet our basketball lover, Buck. Isn't this basketball giving a human touch to this animal? Indeed it is. The deer struggles to get rid of the ball, but it seems like the ball has found a home in his antlers. On our way forward to disturbing trail footage, we found a mysterious creature. It is very strange and unique. Some have speculated it to be a man in a suit, while others think it is a Tasmanian devil. Whatever this creature is, it's got everyone scared. It is black in color and tries to hide itself from the camera. Many believe it to be a dog man. This footage has raised a lot of questions, and everyone out there is speculating about it. We have explored some very creepy and strange captures on trail cams. The weird creature resembles a dog, so many have speculated it to be a chupacabra. It is basically a goat sucker because it feeds on livestock. Look at the long, slender body with an extra long tail. Isn't this giving chills down your spine? It has now turned out to be a realm of mysterious and unknown creatures. A bird with a weird voice and shape is seen on a fence on a farm. People on the farm say that they've never seen such a creature. In the first glimpse, it looks like a monument or an idol on the fence. But as soon as you get closer, you will see it is moving and has a shrill sound. This bird feeds on insects. Aren't these trail footage helping us in seeing strange and unexplored creatures? With every step deeper into the wilderness, we come across a strange animal. This time, it's a perplexing sight again. A brown, hairy figure emerges from the river. It is carrying a small animal in its arms. Some people think it is a heavy-set man with a lot of fishing gear and waders on. Others speculate it is a mysterious creature, aka Bigfoot, with a fish in hand. And the appearance is not like a human, so there's a possibility that anything can be true. Let us know what you think. What do you think? Is this a man or a bear? By its stature, it looks like a bear. It is a strange creature with a black color. But as you investigate the details, you'll notice that it's holding a stick and wearing a cap. These signs make us believe that it is a human. The image sparks curiosity and speculation. Deep in the jungle unfolds a heart-wrenching scene. Just look at the scared girl standing close to two deer. One deer looks straight into the eyes of the girl with curiosity. It raises the question of what possible secret can these two share? Or maybe the deer are considering the girl to be prey. Meanwhile, the other deer locks eyes with the camera, as if acknowledging its presence, drawing us into the world. Gardner, Kansas is known to have a mountain lion, so some people decided to install 2 trail cameras, and they saw some unexpected weird images. A gorilla engaged in a bloody struggle with a terrifying being. To our surprise, a mysterious entity that appeared to be a human and wolf moved through the area using a walker. The search for the mountain lion took an unexpected turn, entangling it in a strange, wild encounter. This photo can scare you all. We believe it to be a photo of a monster trying to hide its face with a veil. The dark night intensifies the details of the monster. What lies beneath that concealed face? Come along with us as we set out on a quest to discover the mystery surrounding this frightening creature. But be careful, once revealed, the monster's face can frighten you in your sleep for the rest of time. Be prepared for a strange encounter. In this image, a being with a human-like body stands tall, but its head distinguishes it from the rest. It is perfectly still, a mesmerizing sight. What lies behind its unusual appearance? Is it a being from another world? Or maybe a creation of nature's enigmatic design? As we gaze upon this mysterious figure, we are reminded of the vastness of the unknown. In our journey of struggle, we found a bird stuck in the water. A bird becomes entangled in a watery fight. It struggles to escape its underwater cage and resembles an eagle. It makes every effort to liberate itself, but it never succeeds. But the question is, was it just stuck there? Or was it something else? And the mystery unfolds as we see an alligator approaching. But unfortunately, the video did not end as we were all thinking. The gator got hold of the eagle at last. We've brought another amazing adventure of wildlife for you. Just see this black horse grazing peacefully. But this peace is short-lived. Can you see the alligator behind him? The horse attacks the alligator after eye contact for a few seconds. We can hear the sound with horseshoes clash with scaly skin. It is another battle of survival and strength. You can definitely not miss this one. Have you seen an animal like a bear from the back and goat from the front? Well, if not, then take a look at this muscular mountain ghost. It's like a polar bear because of its bear-like shape and white color, but it has a face of a goat grazing in the wildlife. This contrast between a bear and a goat shows the wonders of nature. We've seen animals fighting with other animals, but let's see a battle of a deer with a plant. This video draws our attention to the deer with a plant stuck in its antlers. The deer tries its best to get rid of this problem, but it seems no success. Isn't it a beautiful scene to see? Look at this remarkable picture. Doesn't it spark curiosity? A bear-like creature stands on a single leg. Its face is indistinct. It remains a mystery with no distinct features. What secrets lie behind its hidden face? We're drawn into the mystery of this enigmatic creature. Buckle up as an unknown shadow that is intriguing and enigmatic appears. We are perplexed by it because of its short tail, large legs, and fuzzy body. It might be a badger. The disparity in color only heightens the intrigue. Let us know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. Is it really just a badger or some other undiscovered creature? It was a stormy night and the trail camera received a lot of rain. The camera's ability to be submerged in water was tested. The apparatus was almost drowned as water dripped down it. Even though this one clip isn't like the other ones in today's list, still, it's no less disturbing or weird. I mean, what's weirder than a trail cam literally drowning? Thank you for watching the video till the end. Do like and share it with your friends.
Oh, look at this. Oh, that is so creepy.
Thought to be extinct for decades, the La Palma giant lizard proved everyone wrong when it was seen thriving at the same island. According to the scientists, the decline of this species started about 2,000 years ago, and it was believed to be extinct for almost 500 years. But guess what? The lizards were smart enough to hide themselves from the humans for years before they were rediscovered. It was in 2007 when the first photograph of the species was published in a newspaper. And after that, the evidence just started pouring in. Tasmanian tigers, which resemble a hybrid between tigers and wild dogs, were found all throughout Australia and Tasmania before going extinct. The most bizarre part about this is that people continue to spot and photograph these tigers, despite the fact they were declared extinct in 1936. We are unsure of how to interpret the videos and images, despite scientists' repeated claims that they are incapable of being alive. 8 sightings of the tiger have been reported in total over the past few years, with the most recent occurring in July 2019, when a man reportedly found what appeared to be a Tasmanian tiger. On one hand, this bird can be the ingredient for the perfect nightmares for some, while on the other hand, some think of it as a bird coming straight out of a 90s animated movie. Well, whichever side you're on, you will agree with me on how ridiculously terrifying this bird actually is. Also known as the whale-headed stork, these large birds are native to the wetlands of Central and East Africa. They are mostly solitary creatures, which may explain why no one ever sees them. Also, they are on the verge of extinction, so they are being held in captivity till their population is enough to let them into the wild again. One of the most scary rat species ever observed is the Laotian rock rat. This rat was identified as the sole surviving member of an extinct fossil family in 2005, and that species was considered to be extinct for 11 million years. And then the world saw this rat being rediscovered in Laos by experts after years of presumed extinction. Over the past 10 years, the wider Mekong region of Southeast Asia has seen the discovery of over 1,000 new species, which is excellent news for the environment and the globe as a whole. The goblin shark, described as a living fossil, was discovered for the first time in 2000, measuring about 12 feet long and submerged at a depth of 3,600 feet. It is a very rare species that can only be found in the deep, black waters, and in my opinion, just looking at them shows how ancient and frightening they are. According to legend, the goblin shark has been there for 125 million years, hunting and hiding in deep waters where no one has ever been able to find them. The largest vulture and land bird in North America is the California condor. The population of these enormous scavengers drastically decreased during the 20th century, and by the end of the century, they had been declared extinct in the wild. When only a few of them remained in captivity, the US government started captive breeding programs for them, which helped to boost the population. Despite modest and steady growth, there are presently roughly 518 condors worldwide. These adorable little birds were believed to be extinct for 400 years. A bird whose population was endangered by humans saw its number drop from 1 million to 0 in just 20 years. The gray and white Bermuda petrel was thought to be extinct until a teenage naturalist discovered roughly 17 nesting pairs of them. It is incredibly unexpected that a species whose extinction was all but guaranteed has somehow survived, seemingly out of thin air. The environmentalists promptly intervened and saved the birds. As a result of their efforts, there are currently about 400 birds, and ongoing precautions are being made to keep them safe from harm. The huge Komodo dragon, which dates back to nearly 40 million years ago, was obviously going to be included in our list. They are the biggest and heaviest crawling lizards on the planet. These dragons are thought to be the closest living relatives of the dinosaurs, according to many scientists. They were given the title Komodo dragons because of how they looked like a big dragon-like reptile. I mean, the sharp forked tongue does make people think of fire-breathing dragons, so why not? Due to the loss of habitat, the numbers of these dragons started to decline, and then they were taken in captivity. Currently, there are approximately 3,000 Komodo dragons still being held in captivity for safety's sake. The last mammoth found frozen had passed away around 10,000 years prior, and mammoths had been extinct for thousands of years. In Siberia, another one was found completely frozen, and an extensive analysis revealed that its flesh was still fresh. The cells displayed signs of life, which was fantastic news for the researchers. Since the DNA was discovered to be intact, there are allegedly excellent possibilities that researchers will be able to bring this enormous prehistoric creature back to life. Aside from this, how could we forget to mention the claims of woolly mammoth sightings? However, we are unsure of their authenticity. You make the decision. Gharials are considered to be one of the oldest animals to have ever lived on Earth, with the oldest fossil dating back roughly 200 million years. Gharials, also known as gavials, are closely related to crocodilians and have long, narrow, sword-like mouths that are packed with vicious teeth. However, because the modern gharials are the last of their species and have been classified as critically endangered, extra attention is being given to the ones in captivity and are still alive. This shark travels through the water like a snake, waving its body until it comes across its chosen prey, which it often snatches and swallows whole. It appears to have given up on evolution and is content with its scary primordial traits. It has beady green eyes and crinkly brown skin, giving the appearance of a living relic. Its rows of razor-sharp, needle-like teeth are perfect for slicing apart soft-bodied squids, but if they get close enough, it will also gladly eat other fish and sharks too. Frilled sharks have long made an effort to avoid humans. Still, if you're looking for one, they can be found deep in both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. One of the strongest and most violent creatures on Earth is the musk oxen. If you don't believe me, you should sometimes watch this animal fighting over harems. They are so heavy and aggressive that even the ground starts to shake when they fight. Now, you must be wondering why it's on the list. Well, musk oxen have been roaming on the Earth for about almost 187,000 years. And while they have been, and went almost extinct in the 1800s, thankfully, the researchers and wildlife workers took action, and after being captive for years, their population grew. For now, they can be found in Alaska, if you ever wanted to go see them someday. Now, for those who don't know, Titanoboa was a species of the largest snakes on Earth, and according to the scientists, it has long been extinct. Everyone agreed with them, until some videos hit the internet and immediately went viral. People were shocked to see a huge snake which totally came under the characteristics of a Titanoboa lying on an island. To me, this clip does not look fake at all. The Baiji dolphin, also referred to as the beautiful goddess, was the first dolphin to ever be classified as extinct. Even though it horrified them, humans were directly to blame for the demise of such a beautiful creature. When people thoroughly searched the whole Yangtze River and were unable to see or hear many dolphins there in December 2006, the dolphins were officially declared extinct. However, there were a few dolphin sightings in 2007 following that. Therefore, there is a good likelihood that a family of Baiji dolphins still living in the ocean and undiscovered may exist. It has been known for about 30 years that this rare mammal, which swallows its eggs and raises its young in the stomach before giving birth through the mouth, has gone extinct. But we can assure you that that is no longer the case. The world was astounded by the remarkable amphibian's reproduction technique when it was first discovered in Australia in 1972. The mother frog's amazing capacity to transform her gut into a womb is amazing. And she has a gut that can digest between 20 and 25 tadpoles easily. Although intensive field searches were conducted, no more wild specimens were ever discovered after the last one was spotted in 1979 or 1981. The black leopard, also known as the black panther, is a melanistic color variant of the leopard and the jaguar, and as such, is not recognized as a separate species. Nevertheless, both species were formerly believed to be extinct. This very well could have been caused by the way that melanistic leopards are born, as opposed to being a separate species. black leopards are only often developed when two recessive alleles in the leopard combine, since this particular gene is so rare. Although black leopards are significantly rarer than black jaguars and are frequently grouped together, there isn't much that scientists can do to help these cats. They will likely always remain quite uncommon. The cassowaries, which are directly related to dinosaurs, are thought to be roughly 60 million years old. These towering, vibrant, bipedal birds have a huge slab-like ornament on top of their heads, and their feet have sharp claws that resemble daggers. They are extremely dangerous animals, with a reputation for killing and attacking humans. Hence, they are referred to as the modern dinosaurs. The tapirs have been a part of the planet's ecosystem for 20 million years, dating back to the Oligocene epoch. They haven't evolved much since the prehistoric era. Their body and lip shapes are identical to those of the first fossils of this kind discovered. With the exception of their long, elephant-like nose, which they use to hook food into their mouths, they resemble pigs. Although quite weird, tapirs had to be included in today's list because they are one of the most prehistoric animals who survived every risk of extinction and are still alive. These white rhinos, often known as square-lipped rhinoceros, were lost in the 20th century. The white beauty, the second largest mammal on Earth, and the most gregarious of all rhino species, was thought to be extinct by scientists in 1985 because they had been unable to locate it. However, researchers were shocked to discover a little group of roughly 20 rhinos living someplace in South Africa when they went to investigate the area. The scientists preserved and cared after these, but sadly, there are now only 2 left. However, researchers do intend to use Najin, who was born in captivity in 1989, and her mother to implant embryos made from their egg cells. Let's just hope we get them back in the wild and free soon. The most well-known species to have survived extinction is the American bison, also referred to as the American buffalo. In the 19th century, bison were on the verge of extinction. Since then, numerous reintroduction programs have attempted to increase their population. Thanks to these efforts, there are currently about 300,000 bison living throughout North America, with an additional 15,000 bison roaming free. Although they are far more widespread than they were a century ago, they are nevertheless considered a vulnerable species, since their range has been greatly limited and their population is much below its historical peak. The Steller sea lion is the largest member of the sea lion family. From Japan to California, they used to be commonplace throughout the northern Pacific. However, for unexplained reasons, their western population fell by 80% after the 1970s. In 1997, they were on the verge of extinction, but thanks to conservationists' work, a sizable percentage of the population has revived. However, due to the ambiguous state of their recovery, the IUCN still lists Steller sea lions as a near-threatened species. The enormously big Galapagos tortoises measure around 919 pounds each. They are not only big, but they may also easily live for 200 years. These tortoises became extinct in the 20th century, despite having such enormous advantages. In just a few years, they plummeted from having a population of 250,000 to just 15. They were eventually declared to be nearly extinct, up until conservationists took in the last 15 animals, and the captive breeding program enabled the survivors to reproduce more frequently. This species that survived the threat of extinction is currently thought to number 15,000 in the wild. They remain susceptible because of their slow development rate, delayed physical maturation, and differences among island species. Because of the relatively small population and infrequent sightings, the Cuban solenodon was long believed to be extinct. It was proclaimed extinct in 1970. However, after being spotted, it was found again in 1974. The scientists are not to blame. After all, can they? Being so tiny, it might be perfectly hidden. Why else would they assume it was gone? These odd, helmet-shaped creatures have been living on Earth for over 445 million years, whether you believe that or not. Horseshoe crabs were plentiful around the ocean shorelines back then, when no one else could be located. They may have seen the first dinosaurs, the Ice Age and everything, and possibly were there even before that. God only knows how they've endured everything for this long. Wondering why the pandas are mentioned here? Well, the wild panda numbers are finally rebounding after years of decline. In September 2017, the International Union for Conservation of Nature announced that pandas had been upgraded from endangered to vulnerable. Before then, their numbers were continuously declining, and due to that, they were taken into captivity and thrived there. For now, they are still usually kept and taken care of by humans. If in the wild, the risk still remains that they will go extinct. Originally characterized by fossils found in the 1930s and dating back to millions of years, the peccary is a huge, hog-like animal. This is unusual, since scientists had an image of the animal in their minds when they discovered that it was still alive and thriving, living in the Chaco region of Argentina. The peccary was actually well known to the local natives, but it wasn't until the early 1970s that Western scientists realized that the animal was actually still alive and well. It is the last species of its genus, and just about 3,000 of them are currently known to exist. The takahe is the largest surviving member of the rail family and a native flightless bird to New Zealand. When a living bird was captured and brought to Europe, the species was thought to be extinct when the specimen died 50 years later. However, the takahe was rediscovered by a scientist in an isolated valley, and the species is now managed by the New Zealand Department of Conservation, with predictions about their revival. These birds were heavily hunted by the indigenous Maori people, but Europeans did not name and classify them until 1847, and only from fossil bones in 1850. You might not expect to see a crested gecko on this list, but there is a sizable pet market for them in Western nations and among reptile groups. Despite this, it is illegal to own a crested gecko without a license because they are a protected species that were thought to be extinct until they were rediscovered in 1994 by a researcher. The species was first discovered in 1866 and was incorrectly classified twice before being finally correctly placed in the current genus. Their name refers to their eyelashes, and they are not related to most other species of geckos. Despite being extinct, this gecko is now found in large numbers both in the wild and in the pet trade. The pygmy tarsier, often referred to as the mountain tarsier or less spectral tarsier, is an Indonesian native nocturnal primate. Although it was thought that the species had disappeared in the 20th century, it was rediscovered in 2000 when Indonesian scientists accidentally killed one while trapping rats. They have since been found in more substantial numbers, though they are still incredibly rare, and they are believed to be monogamous, sticking with just one partner. It lives in areas with very low vegetative species diversity, meaning that if just a few of the plants within the area die off, it could be extremely bad for the species. We all think of dogs as the cutest pets of all, don't we? Well, you might want to change your mind after seeing Stucky the mummified dog. A logging crew came upon this stunningly preserved dog while doing their usual work in the forest. Trapped inside a hollow tree trunk, shielded from predators, insects, and every element, this hound dog was preserved by nature itself. The mystery remains as to what might have happened to the dog, but there are theories about it, saying the dog might have somehow gotten stuck and then died as a permanent part of the oak tree. Doesn't it look creepiously wonderful? Before moving any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. Jungles and mysteries are the things which always go together. There is no separating these two. And one of the creepiest mysteries remains this one. A man was walking past the woods when he came across a creepy place. A place where many baby dolls, naked, were tied to the trees. Now, I don't know what you guys might think, but I'll surely have a heart attack if I ever came across such a sight in the middle of the forest. And the creepiness doesn't just end there. Along with the dolls, there was also a Ouija board. What do you think? Was someone trying to summon the dead? Or maybe the devil himself? These engineers, I swear, they come up with new and weird ideas every day. I wonder what they actually study while getting their degrees from colleges. For instance, this retired electrical engineer in the U.S. state of Oregon has built a Boeing 727 aircraft between dense forests and made it his home. When he was 20 years old, he bought a piece of land in the forest for 20,000 euros, where he wanted to create new things from old goods. Initially, he thought he would build a house through cargo vans. It's a cool thing to be found in the middle of the jungle when you're lost there, no? A light from afar, and when you go near, a whole plain house. It isn't just a fortress, it's the 8th wonder of the world. Also known as the Lion Fortress of Sri Lanka, this fortress was built high above on a big rock in the 5th century, like thousands of years ago, and it is something, no matter which century you're in, you'll find it amazingly beautiful. Perched on a slab of rock that juts dramatically over the forests of central Sri Lanka, Sigiriya is as imposing a sight now as it must have been when it was first built by a fierce king. It was once lost and all covered by the forest, and then rediscovered in the 19th century, and eventually became the main tourist attractions in Sri Lanka. In a jungle somewhere in Russia, a woman came across a weird creature. Or should I call it a weird dead creature? It is said that it might be taking its last breaths when the woman came across it. She took it back to her home and told others it was her baby. That creature was alive but didn't live long. When other people saw what the woman had, they were shocked as the creature looked nothing like a human. They have been calling it an alien's baby, but nothing is for sure, and the mystery still remains unsolved. These people, or should I start like these poor people, were living their lives in peace away from all the mess humans had created everywhere else. And then, a tourist illegally visited the isolated North Sentinel Island and died. That is when the world turns its attention to these people. They were discovered, and their peace was ruined. This island is basically a small one, and is off the main shipping routes and covered with shallow reefs. Though after getting the world's attention, it came to be known that they were not so isolated actually, and that people have tried visiting the tribe before as well, and every time, it has turned out bad for either the group or the person visiting. I guess we need to leave them alone. If they're happy isolated, why not just let them be? This B-17E bomber was found lying silently in the middle of the jungle when a man captured it on his drone. So he went to see what the condition of the plane was from the inside, as it looked quite okay from the outside. After inspecting it all, he wanted to get it shifted, but what he did not know was all those years in the jungle, the water, and everything. The plane wasn't really in the condition to be moved from its place in one piece. The wing fell off, and yet somehow, this man managed to get the pieces of the plane to his ship. This humpback whale was found in Brazil. This 36-foot whale was pretty far from the beach, which created a sense of mystery among the people who watched it. According to the scientists, the creature might have died in the water and could have been carried with the high waves, landing far from the ocean. But is that so? Amazon being the strangest place of all, we can't say for sure what nature is up to in there. On the very first look, you might consider them as some kind of Titanoboa fossils. But believe me, according to the researchers, they are just rocks, perfectly shaped as snakes. In Thailand, Phu Lanka National Park sits a large rock which is famous among tourists as it looks like a large serpent resting peacefully. For locals, it was a real giant snake once, and for others, it is a snake cursed by someone, and that's how it became a rock. The myths, the mysteries, and the legends never die, do they? But won't it be really cool if it really is a big snake just sleeping and waiting for the right moment to walk and slither around the world? What do you think? Nope, this isn't some fairy tale. This is a real sculpture garden built 2,000 feet above sea level in a subtropical rainforest in the Sierra Gorda Mountains of Mexico. It is termed as the surrealist paradise of Edward James, and it is a place where unpredictability is said to be lying at every corner. It was built in the 1940s by having the 20th century's surrealist art in mind. And even though not discovered but created, this garden deserved to be included in this list, as it's one of the most bizarrely beautiful places to be found in the middle of the forest. In the middle of the lower jungle of Amazon, there lies a river which burns every day and every night. The boiling river is the hottest river in the whole world. Some fault-fed hot springs beneath the earth provide water for this river. The water in the river seeps deep into the earth, heats up underground, and resurfaces through faults and cracks. Many animals have been killed by being burned to death by the water, which is blazing hot. So it is advised to just take in the scene from a distance and stay away. What would you do if you came across hundreds of mirrors shaped and carved in the shape of humans in the middle of a jungle? Well, try not to run for your life, because it might just be a kind of art someone might have set up in the jungle. And if you really want to see it, you can go to Scotland, UK, and try to find it. Call it the parasite or the zombie ant fungus. This thing is just next level. It literally hijacks the body, the brain of its ant host, and after inviting itself into the brain of the ant, it makes the poor ant into doing things like climbing trees and moving here and there. It feeds on the nutrients and makes the ant's head to its home. Doesn't it sound like something straight out of a horror movie? As if the spiders themselves aren't creepy enough that they are developing techniques that are even more weird. For instance, this one. This spider builds a decoy of itself by arranging debris along specialized silk strands in a symmetrical form that gives it a form of almost exactly a large spider hanging on the web. It isn't just enough to fool the animals or insects. It is actually more than enough to fool a human caught off guard as well. And the worst part will be that it isn't even real, and the real spider is very near hidden away. These insects have pretty much become insane artists. At first glance of this bird, you might mistake it for an owl, for it resembles one quite a bit. But believe me, apart from the little bits of looks, it is nothing like an owl. They are famous for their creepy calls, and there are 7 species of these potu birds, and every species has its own creepy sound. The most terrifying call is said to be of the northern potus. But, well, they are more famous for their facial features than their voices, I suppose. Well, of course, those googly eyes are, of course, going to be the ultimate meme material. Do let us know what you guys think about these creepy birds. Also called the Yoda bat, and named for its resemblance to the Jedi Master with equally smiley eyes. This tube-nosed bat was discovered around 2009. A shy animal by nature with huge eyes, spotted wings, and a tubular nose is what makes this bat unique in its own way. These bats are a small species of fruit bat found along the coasts and ranges of eastern Australia and New Guinea. These nimble bats are rarely encountered by humans due to their elusive behavior and effective camouflage. Typically a rainforest species, tube-nosed bats feed on a variety of native and exotic fruits, nectar, flowers, and pollen, making them effective seed dispensers and pollinators within the Australian ecosystem. The pygmy marmoset, or miniature monkeys, remain one of the weirdest discoveries ever. Native to the Amazon basin in South America, these mini monkeys live in tropical evergreen forests. They are said to be the smallest monkeys in the world yet, because we don't know what still might be out there. These weird creatures just keep coming in. Okay, well, about these mini things, they are so small they can easily fit into an adult's hand and have an average weight of less than 120 grams. They do look kind of cute though. I don't know if we can get them as pets. I may still try nonetheless. It was not a titanoboa, or perhaps it was. We don't know for sure. In the middle of the Amazon forest, these men were enjoying their day on their boat when a huge snake started following them. They quickly moved away, but damn the curiosity we humans have. Even when they moved away and the snake stopped following them, they had to go back and grab it by its tail. The snake might have swallowed something very large, or it might have just flipped out and eaten them both. We need to stay away from danger sometimes. Not everything is to go and investigate for. Covered perfectly by nature, overgrown by the jungle, the Lost City was once a thriving capital of the Mayan civilization. It was so flawlessly hidden from the eyes of anyone for years. But then, an archaeologist in search of the white jaguar went too deep into the jungle and instead found this city. It consisted of stepped platforms topped by masonry structures, ranging from great temple pyramids and palaces to individual house mounds. This settlement was found to be about 1,100 years old. It remains a mystery how the city remained in such perfect condition for so many years. Apart from the Amazon forest, Vietnam and its jungles aren't coming any slower either when it comes to strange discoveries. For instance, this entry. A man who spent 41 years in isolation in the Vietnamese jungle. Ho Van Lang first fled to the jungle in 1972, along with his father. It was during the Vietnam War, and he returned back to the civilization in 2013. He and his father spent 41 years surviving off of plants and wild animals, and lived in a timber hut under the ground. Unfortunately, both him and his father have died, but they still remain as the perfect example of real-life Tarzans. Call it the most mysterious mystery ever, or call it God throwing his marbles on Earth. The presence of these perfectly shaped stone spheres is just amazing. On the small island of Costa Rica, there are over 300 spheres. To give you the background check, a fruit company in search of land accidentally came across these huge stones. They were shocked as they were so perfectly shaped and weighed around 16 tons each. Are they the work of some extinct civilization? Or aliens left them here? Or is it the work of God? Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. The Amazon rainforest as a whole is full of mysteries, not the least of which is what exactly is inside of it. But one mystery that stands out in most people's minds is the mystery of the Amazon rings. These huge ring-like ditches were uncovered by deforestation, and since then, there has been much discussion about these rings, not the least of which is who made them and what their purpose is. Other questions include when they first appeared in the Amazon, and whether or not they were there before the Amazon ever came to be a study. It remains as one of the unsolved mysteries up to this day. Out of all the strange discoveries humans ever made in the jungle, the award for the deadliest cuties goes to this entry. These attractive-looking frogs are not something you should take a chance getting close to, despite seeing some of the most gorgeous and vibrant colors on the planet. These are regarded as among the planet's most toxic species. They are widespread in South and Central America and possess enough poison to swiftly kill 10 adult men in about 10 minutes. So if you see a tiny frog with a lovely color, try to avoid touching it. The White City of the Monkey God is a fabled location that is claimed to have been in Honduras. The Spanish are said to have caught a glimpse of it while they were there, but they never saw it again. In 2015, a group of explorers thought they had found the so-called White City, which was given its name in reference to pillars that were rumored to have existed. As a result of their research, they discovered structures and artifacts that had been sucked up by the jungle and ended up with a documentary revealing secrets of an ancient indigenous culture that may be over 1,000 years old. But is it really the Lost City? Or is the Lost City still lost somewhere? These might not be as huge as the dragons in the myths. Still, these blue dragons are one of the strangest creatures to ever be discovered in a jungle. Despite the fact that they won't appear to be harmful or lethal at all, they are incredibly poisonous. The blue dragons have been living on Earth for a long time, unlike what humans initially believed when they were found. They are also known as the Masters of Disguise, and they have powers that are unmatched by any other animal on the planet. They are not poisonous on their own, but when touched, they unleash poison that is stored in their bodies. Unless you approach them too closely and provoke them, they are typically not dangerous. When you first see them, they could seem cute, but take caution, since these bats are actually tiny vampires who hunt at night and drink blood. They typically prey on small animals, but if you are near, they might also suck your blood. So if it's nighttime and you're in the jungle, you should take caution and keep an eye out for any danger. giant centipede. This centipede, also known as Scolopendra gigantea, is one of the biggest ones in its genus. It is found in South America, particularly in the Amazon and the Caribbean, and can reach a maximum height of 12 inches or more. It is renowned for being the most venomous centipede, apart from its size, and it feeds on various creatures, including insects. It is a carnivore and a fierce attacker, feeding on practically anything it encounters, even bats. They are also dangerous to humans, as the proper amount of venom injected into the body can result in excruciating pain, chills, swelling, fever, and death. This picture was taken from a video of Belle P-39, which was found and recovered from Lake Martyor within the Arctic Circle. She was given to Russia as part of the Lend-Lease program. Piloted by Lieutenant Ivan Baranovsky, an engine failure on a mission in 1944 caused her to crash in the lake. As it was used in World War II, it was a big thing to have found it all in one piece, lying peacefully deep under the lake. Deep in the Argentine jungle, archaeologists discovered a hideout where there were ruins of house-like structures, all abandoned and isolated. Upon investigating the ruins, the remains, and whatever else was found to be there, the researchers came to the decision that it might be a Nazi safe haven at one time. According to different theories and myths, the Argentinian government made a deal with Germans and brought hundreds of them here to train, while others say that the Germans went too deep into the Argentinian jungles in search of refuge. Hundreds of sayings are there, and one of them must be true, as this discovered hideout remains as the concrete proof of it. Considered as one of the biggest ancient cities to ever be discovered, the megacity of Angkor is located in Cambodia. The city and its surrounding areas may have housed up to 1 million people, and at its height was considered the largest city in the world. Mostly known for its enormous Buddhist temple complex, it was built in the 12th century, after which it went lost and then was rediscovered in 1840 by some French explorer. Considered as a masterpiece of both architecture and engineering, Machu Picchu is a testament to the power and ingenuity of the Inca Empire. Built without the use of mortar, metal tools, or the wheels, Machu Picchu stands as an archaeological wonder of the ancient world. But why was it built and then deserted? The question remains. A guy was recording the surroundings at the beach when he suddenly saw a big tail in the waves. He turned his camera towards it, and we saw a mermaid struggling to get back into the water. The guy tried following her, but then she disappeared into the water in less than a minute. This mysterious 12-inch creature might not look like the ones you've seen in the movies, but we can say that this is what a real mermaid must have looked like. It is said to have been caught in the Pacific Ocean around the 18th century and was mummified by the locals. For now, it is being kept in a museum in Japan, where hundreds of tourists visit it every day. This mermaid, or some creature which looks like it might be a mermaid, appeared on a dock in broad daylight, leaving the onlookers in shock. Half bald, weirdly moving, this thing was maybe caught or trapped in something, as it wasn't going back into the water. It was first posted on Facebook by a man from India, and in a few hours, it had gained thousands of views, all debating about the authenticity of the video. Let us know what you guys think. At first, it will look like some people gathered in a place looking over something. But if you look closely and we zoom in a bit, you will see a creature lying dead. It was found by the divers deep in the ocean, and as soon as it was brought out, it stopped breathing. The curious onlookers just stood there in shock that what they were seeing was actually real. To be honest, I think this might be a real mermaid, and the fact that this news was covered up and no comments were made by authorities makes me even more suspicious. In the middle of the sea, this paddleboarder was taken by surprise by a mermaid when she flipped his board over with her tail. He was forced into the water, but hurriedly got back on his board, and the mermaid was seen swimming away as her tail emerged from a little far. And after that, the mysterious mermaid was never seen again. A man was enjoying the peace and the calmness of the ocean on a very normal day, when suddenly he suspected that something was very near him. He started inspecting the area, looking under and over the water, but nothing seemed to appear. And then a second passes and a glowing tail appears on the screen. The man gets so shocked and tries to swim his way out of the water, and that is when the camera captures another glimpse of the creature swimming away from the guy. Now that was the scariest mermaid encounter ever recorded on camera. If you still don't believe that mermaids are real, well, you can look at this clip from a documentary. It shows the process of how mermaids must have lived among the scary sharks. We see a mermaid sacrificing itself just to save the other ones. This shows how they used spears to kill fish, and the spears are exactly like the ones we showed previously in the video. What do you think? This beautiful mermaid was captured on a camera while swimming in the ocean. She probably had no idea that someone was filming her, as the person kept trying to hide behind a rock wall so that the mermaid wouldn't notice him. Isn't she just the most beautiful mermaid you've ever seen? On a pretty sunny day, a guy got a chance to capture a real mermaid lying on a rock. She must be so tired of being under the water all the time that she thought it would be a good idea to get out of it and get some sunlight. And that is exactly what she did. The beautiful fish-like tail and the hair make her look so mesmerizing. Call it a mermaid, or call it some weird deep-sea creature. For me, this might be what a real-life mermaid looks like. It had a tail and webbed claws like a fish, and the head and the teeth make it look really weird. It is said to be caught and killed by a fisherman in the Philippines, and then brought to shore. They said it was its voice which got their attention, and that is when they decided to chase it and capture it. This unaware mermaid was caught on camera while chilling on the beach. The guy who recorded it was pretty far from the mermaid, and she probably was just too busy sunbathing to notice anyone near her. Her blonde hair, golden brown tail, and the way she lays there can make anyone stop and stare at her forever. And that is how these mermaids trap their victims. So do not go near if you ever find a beautiful mermaid lying on the beach. Never. Two friends were having a good time on a beach when they saw something which shocked the hell out of them. A mermaid, which might have been swimming there, as soon as it spotted the guys, made a big dive back into the water. Though the guys didn't really know that it was a real mermaid at the spot, the camera recording later showed them how close they were to such a fantastic creature. Dolphins are creatures which can befriend anyone, be it humans, animals, or even mermaids. And you will know after watching this video where a mermaid was spotted swimming among the dolphins. They were seen having a really good time in each other's company, and the mermaid was so involved with the dolphins that it didn't even notice that someone was recording her. When two researchers were on their way to investigate the deep waters, they didn't know that they would encounter something straight out of the mythical world. While recording the water from inside the submarine, they managed to capture a mermaid-like thing on their camera. Just 2 minutes of video were shown, but it was enough time for viewers to watch an odd object move in front of the submarine's glass window. The webbed hands and the human-like face were enough for them and for the whole world to know that it was nothing but a mermaid itself. Another piece of proof that mermaids exist can be seen in this video. The species can be spotted swimming next to the waves in the ocean. It definitely has a mermaid aspect because of the long human arms and tail that look like a fish. Despite the lack of a credible source, the clip claims to show a mermaid sighting. In Cape Town, mermaid sightings have been reported frequently. A mermaid can be seen swimming around a beach in this video before others see her and become alarmed. As soon as the humans spotted her, they thought of it as a human with a mermaid tail, but upon closer look, it was not a human. And then they screamed and ran for their lives, believing it to be a real monster. Mermaids usually do not come near humans, but this one might be a rebellious one, don't you think? This short clip shows a mermaid swimming lazily in the water. It might have been so involved in it that she didn't notice a camera there recording her. This clip was recorded pretty deep under the water, so it is not possible for a human to be there all swimming by herself. I think it might be a real mermaid. When a man was having the time of his life swimming peacefully in the quiet ocean, he happened to come across a mermaid. Just like the man, she herself was enjoying her alone time. So they both kind of ruined each other's peace. Though the man got a recording for himself, and the mermaid just had to run away from the annoying human. The woman who yelled in joy after spotting a mermaid in this video seems to have had a real-life encounter.
F***ing mermaid. F***ing mermaid!
She may have thought that she was seeing a mermaid, but still, that is not enough to prove that the mermaid is real. There have been conflicting opinions on this film. Some claim that it is simply an actress practicing for her part, while others assert that actresses do not venture so far out into the sea without their team and other crew members to support them. Don't you think an actress wearing a mermaid tail alone in the middle of the ocean is a little strange? At first glance, it appeared to be possibly a bag caught between the rocks. However, the creature suddenly leapt into the water. Since plastic bags couldn't jump that high the last time I checked, we can be confident that it wasn't just a bag. According to the man who captured the video, it was definitely a mermaid. This is allegedly a leaked video from a 2003 UK Coast Guard nighttime rescue exercise, where the two guards saw a mermaid. At first, they thought it was a seal, but one of the guards was sure that it was something else. They were discussing this when suddenly a strange creature came out of the water, and it had an upper body and face like a human, and a tail. Given how the object popped out of the sea in front of the camera, the Coast Guards must have been terrified to death. They deserve some credit for remaining in place. In Minnesota, a group of medical professionals and security personnel were seen acting strangely. If you examine the video closely, you can see two doctors scooping up a body off the ground with their arms, moving it to the men standing by with a stretcher, and then placing the body on it. After finishing it, they return to the location where they found it to make sure there is nothing left. Then they go without leaving any trace that anything out of the ordinary occurred. I don't know whether you noticed, but that creature's tail had an exact resemblance to a typical mermaid's tail. Despite the poor quality of the video, that tail is clearly visible, which, in my opinion, suffices to establish that it was a mermaid. This video might be a little blurry and with no lights as it was captured at night, but you can see a weird creature lying on the beach. No one knows how it got there, and the people who first saw it thought that it was a big fish which washed ashore. But they were shocked to see that it was a real, alive mermaid lying right there. Maybe the net it was trapped in brought it there, or maybe it just wanted to escape the sea. Let us know what you guys think. In this short video, we observe a boy discovering a tiny skeleton of some sort. It was a truly horrific find, since the boy dropped the skeleton right away and ran from the scene because he was so scared by the discovery. The youngster shuddered in response to the terrifying event, which suggests that it was real. This is the first time we have actually seen something of a baby mermaid, as all we have previously seen is evidence that mermaids exist in their adult form. What do you think? Was that the skeleton of a newborn mermaid? Or was it a fake? What did you initially think after watching this video? Doesn't that resemble a group of dolphins? I mean, everyone immediately believes this before paying closer attention. This footage was obtained by a drone at Dana Point, California. The moment it was first uploaded to YouTube, the entire world was in shock. When it received millions of views, people began discussing it because they believed it offered convincing proof that mermaids exist. The animals initially appeared to be dolphins, but their splashing and water movements show that they have arms that resemble human arms. The fisherman, who was out of the river hoping for a pleasant day and hoping to capture as many fish as he could, instead came across a strange-looking creature with a human-like body and a fish-like tail. The man quickly recognized the thing as a mermaid. The monster lay on the beach, its white body showing, and it appeared to be dead at the time. Quickly reaching for his phone, the fisherman captured the amazing scene on camera. When the video went viral, the majority of viewers voiced their amazement and disbelief at what they saw. Even the existence of mermaids was questioned by some people. While snorkeling in the tunnels close to Cancun, Mexico, a man came upon a genuine mermaid. He was the only diving tourist with a camera among a huge bunch. He was shooting a network of caves underwater when he noticed a passing mermaid. The camera lens caught the silhouette of the fabled creature, which was in fact a mermaid, because it was dark beneath the water and there were just a few rays of light coming from above. This video has quickly become one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for mermaid existence. While collecting garbage and debris from a beach after a hurricane, the cleanup team discovered a already died and that the hurricane had caused the seas to throw her body on the shore. Nobody knows what happened to the mermaid or where she is now. Perhaps other mermaids picked up her body off the beach as the cleaners ran away in terror. This original video has received millions of views and is regarded as one of the most solid and compelling examples of mermaid existence to date. Some fishermen noticed an unusual catch in their nets while fishing in choppy waters. If you look closely, you can see a monster with a statue that resembles a human being at one point in the net. The hand of the creature emerges, but it was not a typical human hand. Instead, it was webbed, precisely as one would predict a mermaid's to be. No human can survive alone in such harsh weather and turbulent water deep in the ocean. It had a mermaid-like body, right down to the thin covering of skin connecting its fingers. A boy was taking videos of his surroundings when he unintentionally captured a merman on film. When the child interrupted the merman's alone time and forced him to return to the water, he was probably simply also enjoying some alone time. The child, on the other hand, appeared somewhat frightened when the camera he was holding began to tremble, and it took him some time before he managed to gather himself and flee for his life. Some tourists who were on their cruise ship in the river spotted a mermaid-like creature sitting on some rocks. It was too far, but that did not stop people from immediately rolling out their cameras and filming the creature. The footage's blurriness casts questions on whether it's a real video. It might be someone hidden under a mermaid tail. But do let us know what you think about this one. Despite being seen as strong and fantastical, mermaids are not indestructible, as shown by the distance of the dead mermaid that washed up on Florida shores. A young man discovered the supposed mermaid's remains and videotaped the event before reporting it to the police. The creature in the video appears to have a human form, but the towering fish-like features that are, in many myths, typical of mermaids. The young man screamed and shouted while filming the incident because he was so terrified by what he had seen. Do you think this is true? A man discovered something that was more human-like than fish. Since its wrists were tied behind its back and it resembled a cross between a human fish and a crocodile, few people understood that it might be somewhat of a real mermaid. Perhaps a genuine mermaid, or the fisherman who caught it brought it to the Indian coast. Some individuals assert that Angela Canyon is a hybrid that is 50-50 fish and human. When you lean in for a closer look, you can see that it has 4 breasts, 4 fish-like bangs on its head, and a stomach that looks like it's had one too many Thanksgiving feasts. At first glimpse, it makes you want to flee in terror. When you take a closer look, the creature that washed ashore on British Beach clearly resembles a mermaid. When the video was featured on Facebook, it prompted several inquiries from users. The person who posted it claimed to have found the dead mermaid while strolling along the shore, and stated he knew nothing else about it. The majority of the body appeared to be severely destroyed, but the tail, hands, claws, and head were still quite plainly visible. A man who was deep diving in the ocean with his camera managed to record a video that stunned the entire world. In the sea, a creature resembling a mermaid was seen swimming, or perhaps it was a mermaid. I'm not sure if it was good or bad that the mermaid continued swimming despite failing to notice the man swimming nearby. I suppose we'll never know. This picture is taken from a video which went viral a few months back. In this popular video from Nairobi, Kenya, while people are having fun, a creature appears out of nowhere and rests on the beach. The beachgoers initially fled in fear because they were unsure of what kind of creature it was, but upon closer examination, they quickly realized that the creature resembled a person but had a fishtail, and that description only fits one well-known creature: a mermaid. A security camera in northern Mexico captured a strange moment when hundreds of birds fell from the sky and died at the spot. These were yellow-headed blackbirds, and a huge flock of them were headed south. And while some of them recovered from the fall, a huge amount of them just did not and could not move. It does look like a free fall or something, but the zookeeper nearby said that these birds were actually on the run from some predator.
Best guess is this is a predator. This is a hawk or a falcon that's come into the flock.
The actual reason for this mass demise still remains unknown. Despite being an amateur video from an unidentified source, this one seems ideal to be included in our list. I mean, could you have believed it if I told you there was a pterosaur lurking in the skies? Fossilized pterosaurs are well recognized thanks to movies. They were the greatest flying creatures ever, but sadly we no longer get to witness them. Most of the time, I mean. Some people did witness it, and fortunately, they also captured it on camera. Am I glad we've got the footage? What do you think of this clip? Do you believe it could be authentic, or do you believe it was made for publicity purposes only? Fog reduces vision, which not only makes accidents more likely, but also provides the ideal hiding place for monsters. In June 2020, a French resident recorded this footage after noticing an odd-looking object in the sky. It appears to be in midair, like a huge centipede, and is almost appearing to be moving into the fog. Since this video was captured from a location where the fog had less of an impact, it can really be seen perfectly disguised within thick fog. What do you guys think about this video? Do let us know in the comments below. Found mostly in Australia, the ghost shark is something just out of this world. They have large, high-set eyes and club-like structures at the end of their snouts. They are sure to give you nightmares if you ever encounter one in real life. Though if you look from afar, it might look like a swimming dragon, just with very big eyes. This species was not discovered for quite a long time, as they live in deep waters and are termed as ancient fish. The kangaroo rat or ninja rat is a name for little rodents that are commonly found in the desert, hopping in a way resembling kangaroos. There is a good risk that these little ninjas will be discovered by snakes when they emerge in search of a meal, exactly like this one did. However, the snakes are unaware that their size should not be misinterpreted. As they have enormous legs and an extremely quick reaction time, the kangaroo rats can easily kick the snake out of the path. Therefore, it's not something that snakes can readily or even catch at all. This clip went viral on the internet when people saw a huge anaconda trying to cross the road in the middle of the day and in the presence of many humans. They were getting down from their cars and trying to stop the approaching vehicles to let the reptile slither wherever it wanted to. This happened in Brazil in 2019, and this snake wasn't something you would get to witness every day trying to cross the road. It was a 4-meter long one and had to weigh around 66 pounds easily. India might be famous as a place of culture and colors, but what most people do not know is that it is also a place of strange and weird phenomena. For instance, in this clip, we see a man with a huge bag, and when he empties the bag, there are hundreds of snakes in it. He caught them all, sorted them all with just his bare hands. No worries, and no F's given at all. Just the man and his snakes slithering everywhere in the wild. Though it is heard that the man was actually freeing those snakes. There were times when people used to think that turtles were slow, and slow and steady does win the race. But not today. Today, these turtles have learned to be fast. And not just fast, but the fastest. Look at it. If there was a record which I could give, I'd give this one for the fastest turtle on planet Earth. Somewhere at a beach in China, a man happened to see a weird, sponge-like creature. He thought it was dead, or maybe not something living at all, and that's why he went to it and held it in his bare hands. But, well, the creature wasn't dead at all, and that is when we see it moving its hands and legs, or whatever that is, in a weird way. What can it be? A mutated starfish? Let us know what you guys think. This elephant, who was shot straight in the head and was bleeding. But of course, elephants do not know how to treat bullet wounds. So he approached the humans in a very cautious manner and showed them the bullet in his skull. The doctors were immediate with their actions and did all they could to get the bullet out and then treat the infection. Hopefully, the elephant must be doing good in the wild these days. Now, orcas are the most intelligent creatures ever known. They not only learn quickly, but they can communicate with and comprehend people. However, what this orca accomplished was beyond amazing. A fish that had been provided to it as a snack was taken by the orca, who then hurled it toward the seagulls. The orca then waited till one of the unfortunate seagulls attempted to get the fish. The orca had utilized the fish as a bait, and it was successful in carrying out its strategy, and did so rather skillfully. I am seriously amazed by their intelligence and skills. Aren't you? This clip went viral in November 2019, and people were weirded out by its existence. Some claimed it was a carp with a human-like face. And also, this video is not fake, but it might be possible that it is just a carp, and the certain camera angle and its scales has made it appear like that. What this guy filmed was something you surely would not believe if it wasn't captured on a camera. After seeing a fish about to die, the guy came up to it and decided to help, but the fish kept coming back to the dry land and did not want to go back into the water. Maybe it was depressed and wanted to end its life, or maybe it just loved the human so much that leaving him was not something the fish wanted to do. Snails are already pretty weird and slimy and whatnot type of creatures. Usually they like to have fresh leaves, stems, and things like that for lunch and dinner. But these days, they have started loving vegetables. Like, look at this one, and how yummy it is finding the carrot that he's just not letting go of the thing. It looks more like a hamster than a snail eating that carrot. Am I weird because I'm finding this kind of cute? I don't know. On the 29th of May 2016, this clip was posted online, causing a shock all over the world. People were amazed to see these fishes walking on land. We don't know how they ended up on the land, and we don't know how they were able to actually walk themselves back into the water safely. If it carries on like this, the day is not far when these fishes will rule the land, and we humans will have nowhere to go. Nonetheless, this is just a weird phenomenon which asks for proper investigation and the reason to be publicized. It is a tree that is indigenous to South Africa and is called the dragon blood tree, or Sakota dragon tree. People are getting more and more fascinated with these trees because they appear to bleed when you cut them. Most people believe them to be mythical trees that only appeared in fiction until they actually encountered one. It might be nature's way of telling us to stop cutting trees. A fluff of daddy long legs. What looks like dust bunnies might actually be something pretty creepy and scary for some people. If you have arachnophobia, I'm gonna warn you, this isn't something you are going to love watching, so maybe just jump to the next one. I'll give you a quick second. Go ahead. According to the man who filmed this clip, these are daddy longlegs, and they come every year to his house when it gets chilly and wintry outside. They make their home directly above his heater's dent and get themselves warm right there. But this many of them? Even the man said he's seeing it for the first time. Moray eels are usually termed as the sea monsters or creepy creatures. Well, it's not wrong. They really do look very creepy and dangerous too. If I ever came across one, I would think it better to just stay away. But the scary-looking moray eel this diver came across was all in for the cuddles and snuggles. It did not mind the human patting and scratching it, and neither did it try to run away or attack. By the looks of it, it was more like an ocean dog than a scary, creepy monster. Fish love the ocean. Well, of course they do. It's their home, right? But they never let an opportunity to have a unique home slip away, like these colorful, pretty fish did. 30 feet down in the ocean off the shore of Qatar, these little creatures have made a sunken car their home. And this artificial but naturally made coral reef has been attracting a lot of tourists and scuba divers. It looks really cool. Israeli city residents claim to have seen a half-fish, half-girl monster in 2009, but no one took them seriously until they watched this video. It was thought that the mermaid spent the majority of her time sunbathing, and that if anyone tried to approach her, she would scuttle under the waves. She jumped into the water as soon as she noticed the lads from a distance, surprising everyone by having a long tail in place of legs. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.